It's Tuesday, March 17th.
And we have here a province that is willing to make that compute power available to generate that compute capacity at scale.
Bell is officially announcing the building of a new AI data center near Regina.
The fact of the matter is that today our province of Saskatchewan is the most affordable province in the nation of Canada to live, Mr. Speaker. We are seeing investment come into this province, creating careers, Mr. Speaker.
Provincial government facing criticism for a planned increase in the basic auto insurance deductible.
We may benefit from that exchange.
A herd of buffalo returning to the Cowessess First Nation for the first time in more than a century. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning. I was going to say Happy St. Patrick's Day, so you took my line.
We're both wearing green, which is good. More than I can say for some of the staff around here who we are going to pinch.
Well, they say, oh, I don't own green. You live in Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
We're in Riderville. How do you not own green?
One of their dads works for the Rough Rider Foundation. He owns a lot of green.
Yeah, no, there's no excuses. Put on some green today.
We're coming for you. Yeah, get that green on. Let's get to your forecast in just a minute. First, we begin with that top story. An AI data center is coming to Saskatchewan,
resulting in a significant contribution to national Canadian data sovereignty.
BCE, the parent company of Bell Canada and CTV, is partnering with the province to bring a $1.7 billion data center online. It's the company's largest investment in Saskatchewan. A 300-megawatt AI data center will be built in the rural municipality of Sherwood, which is right outside of the city of Regina, as you know. Bell said the data center could generate up to $12 billion in economic value and create more than 1,600 jobs.
To be at the heartbeat of AI development in Canada, to have an interconnected system of AI data centers across the country. And, you need the power in order to deliver that compute capacity. And we have here a province that is willing to make that the power available to generate that compute capacity at scale.
Construction is expected to begin this spring. Bell, of course, the parent company of CTV, Your Morning Saskatchewan. It's another day of accusations at the Saskatchewan legislature yesterday. This time, the Saskatchewan NDP is being accused of inciting hatred toward the premier and some of the members of his cabinet. As Wayne Mantika tells us, the allegations stem from an email sent to NDP supporters.
It was an email intended to fire up NDP supporters for the 2028 provincial election campaign. It accuses the Saskatchewan Party of oozing arrogance and smugness and asks supporters to take a moment to think of the faces of all the ones they hate so much. It goes on to name the Premier, Tim McLeod, Jeremy Harrison, and Jeremy Cockrell. The Premier stood in the legislature to take exception to the email.
The ones you hate so much, Mr. Speaker. That's the opposition leader's chief of staff in a fundraising email telling the people in Saskatchewan communities. Think of that young father's face. Think of this husband and young father's face, Mr. Speaker. Think of this father's face and hate them. Mr. Speaker, this is sick.
The email was from the newly appointed NDP campaign director. The opposition leader addressed the concerns.
I'll also say that the emotion that I'm hearing out there from people, the frustration, is very real. Whether you use the word hate, you hear a lot of concern, a lot of frustration, a lot of fear from people out there right now who really are struggling.
The Premier called on the NDP leader to dismiss the person responsible for the fundraising letter. Carla Beck says she won't take advice from the Premier and stands by her choice of campaign director. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
A Balgonie man facing serious child exploitation charges after a police investigation. The Saskatchewan Internet Child Exploitation Unit charged 53-year-old Kevin James Leibel with possessing and making child sexual abuse material. Leibel was remanded and is going to appear in Regina Provincial Court tomorrow. A Saskatoon teen who doused her classmate in gasoline and set her on fire has been handed the maximum youth sentence for attempted murder. So finally a conclusion, Jeremy Dodge, to this story.
Yeah, Daryl, the 16-year-old sentenced to 3 years, 2 years in custody, followed by 1 year of community supervision. Now, the teen has already spent 558 days in custody. Unlike most cases, that time will not be credited toward her 3-year sentence. Ahead of the September 2024 attack at Evan Hardy Collegiate, court heard the offender became obsessed with the victim and her best friend, contacting them using multiple phone numbers and social media accounts. The victim's family and parents of her best friend said they reported the stalker situation to police and were told a safety plan would be implemented.
This case shows what happens when students' concerns aren't taken seriously. We shouldn't have to fight this hard just to be heard and to feel safe in our own school.
Now, of course, the victim, the accused, and their families cannot be identified under a youth publication ban. The victim continues to recover from burns to 40% of her body, undergoing surgeries and ongoing treatment. Charges have been laid following a homicide last week that took the life of a North Battleford cab driver. Friday, RCMP responded to a report of a man injured in a business parking lot off the Highway 16 bypass in North Battleford. Police say 30-year-old Devinder Singh, who was working as a cab driver, was declared dead at the scene. 19-year-old Kojak Adams facing 1 count of first-degree murder, and 19-year-old Garen Baptiste charged with manslaughter. Adams charged with 2 additional firearm-related offenses. Both made their first appearances in North Battleford Provincial Court Monday, where they have been remanded in custody until March 30th. Well, Daryl, Canada is joining a list of allies condemning the escalating violence in Lebanon.
That is right, Jeremy. We'll continue on with international news. The Defense Minister, David McGuinty, making it clear that Canada would not participate in the war offensively.
We will not be engaging offensively in this war. I want to be very clear. We are not going to be engaging offensively in this war. And the question of the Strait of Hormuz is one that is evolving. It's changing. It's hard to get hard information, to be honest with you.
But did say Canada is, quote, leaving the door open to providing assistance in the Middle East. Meanwhile, Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand is in Turkey today and is expected to provide an update later this morning. It all comes as U.S. President Donald Trump is disappointed with many NATO nations turning down his demands to help secure the strait. We are following developing news this morning. Israel's defense minister now says its military has killed Iran's security chief. Iran's minister of defense saying that he's been eliminated, quote unquote, and that he and the prime minister have instructed the military to continue hunting down Iran's leadership. The Iranian security chief had been seen in public last Friday taking part in rallies. He was a former nuclear negotiator for Iran and a close ally of the late supreme leader who was killed on the first day of the war. Iran has not confirmed whether he was killed or injured, but state media say an update will be issued soon. Prime Minister Mark Carney is now officially on holidays in Europe after wrapping up some meetings in London. Carney met with the UK Prime Minister yesterday for a bilateral meeting where the two leaders reinforced their support for Ukraine. He also visited Buckingham Palace for a face-to-face with the King. For the next 6 days, Carney is on vacation, but the Prime Minister's office says he will be in close contact with staff on critical issues. U.S. President Donald Trump is now raising the idea of controlling Cuba as another massive blackout hits the island.
I do believe I'll be having the honor of taking Cuba.
This is the third major blackout on the island, which is grappling with an energy and economic crisis. Cuba's Ministry of Energy and Mines says there has been, quote, complete disconnection of the country's electrical system. Crews are now slowly restoring power. The island has been cut off from any oil shipments for the past 3 months. In recognition of Saskatchewan's Francophone community, the province is celebrating Les Rendezvous de la Francophonie throughout the month of March. Monday, many students and Francophone organizations celebrating the proclamation of the Saskatchewan Gallery. Saskatchewan's ministry responsible for Francophone affairs says this year's theme is Activate Your Francophonie, encouraging people to celebrate people speaking French across the province.
It's really about continuing our effort to support the community through translation of government documents. We've increased significantly the number of French pages offered in French. There's a growing number of offices across government where French language services are available.
For the next week, the government will be holding activities until March 20th. Let's get over to the Weather Centre. May the luck of the Irish be on our weather boards.
Yes, actually, Saskatchewan feeling very lucky today. We're seeing a whole lot of positive temperatures. Now, this morning, we are already starting to see some awesome temperatures, -14 up in Stony Rapids. So definitely an improvement from when we were at -30 in the past few days or so. Regina is at -5 this morning, Saskatoon at -4. Already seeing some positive temperatures, though, down in the southwest corner of the province. Swift Current at 4 degrees to start the day. Let's turn our attention to Regina's forecast today. St. Patrick's Day, 11 degrees with those sun and clouds this afternoon. Also seeing sun and clouds this afternoon will be Saskatoon. Just not quite as warm, 7 degrees, but still both of these temperatures well above that seasonal average. So again, some good news and some bad news, because we're also talking about the wind gusts. You probably have already noticed those overnight, how they were gusting outside of your window. Well, those are going to continue in the afternoon, this afternoon, especially if you're waking up with us from that southwest corner. So that is where we're going to be seeing the warmest temperatures, but again, it's going to be where we're seeing that strongest wind gusts. All those areas lighting up in red could be surpassing 50 kilometers per hour. Futurecast showing that, again, we did get some of the snow overnight. It is going to be mainly clearing off into Manitoba by the early afternoon. Still seeing just a little bit of that snow way up north. Again, the southwest corner going to be seeing more of that sunshine today. We talked about that yesterday. Again, though, we just mentioned those wind gusts. We also have some more precipitation moving in for Wednesday. This is at about 2 a.m. So overnight, Prince Albert likely going to be seeing some of that rain. And then into the afternoon hours, again, we see another system coming in from Alberta. It's going to come with mainly rain for areas around Saskatoon, but also just a few flurries as well. Again, this isn't going to be sticking around a lot because we're talking about positive temperatures for the next few days. 8 degrees, though, this afternoon for the Battlefords, 3 degrees for Yorkton, 13 degrees for Moose Jaw, 11 degrees for Weyburn, and 9 degrees for Estevan. You do see those snow and rain icons for Weyburn and Yorkton. Again, that's just carried over from what we saw overnight, likely going to be pushing away for the later parts of the morning there. 5-day forecast in Regina looking really good for temperatures, especially on Thursday, 17 degrees. We've been talking about winds and how that could be affecting that temperature on that day. Now we're projecting them to be up to about 35 kilometers per hour on that day, so not so bad. In Saskatoon, again, talking about some rain on the way tomorrow afternoon, 3 degrees, and then 6 degrees by Thursday. In case you missed it, a Surrey cat has become a bit of a local legend for his cross-country rebellions.
He kind of flaunts his recklessness for the law.
Louis the cat lives on Zero Avenue, right on the border of the U.S. and Canada. No fences or barriers block the road, and for the most part, people stick to their side of the road, but not Louis. He has been well known in the neighborhood for often jumping the border to wander and hunt. Border Patrol has not questioned him yet.
Soon, though.
Yeah, it's coming.
Soon, Louis.
You have to assume. I mean, you can't just go back and forth.
Chopper's got an eye on the cat.
They are watching.
Been pretty lucky so far. Let's get to our question of the day.
Well, we're asking you today, of course, because it's St. Patrick's Day, what brings you luck? Do you have anything, Jeremy?
No. I don't really believe in luck, I mean, people can be lucky, but I'm not sure there's any real control over that.
I don't know. Nobody's more lucky than some of her family members who have some lotto success.
Yes, yeah. Actually, my family has not me. Let me clarify,
Yeah,
not
you're
me.
still
but
working here.
My grandparents won the lottery
Twice. No?
Well, one won a lotto home, and one won the actual
So
lotto
that's luck.
in the 80s. So it was a long time ago. I didn't get any of it.
We got to call and find out what they did to bring them that kind of luck, so that we can have some sort of.
Well, that same grandmother, she always says she buys the tickets, but she buys them with the same numbers that she won with back in the 80s.
I'm gonna start using AI to see if they can, what are the winning tickets and see what it does.
I bet you many people are already doing that. You all have the same. You'll all share the winnings. Yeah.
And if they weren't already thinking that, now they're going to start doing it.
Yeah. Do you have anything else that brings you luck, though?
I can't really think of anything off the top of my head. I just hope for good luck.
It's lucky girl syndrome. You have to manifest it. If you think you're going to be lucky, you will be lucky. We want to hear from you. Text your name and your answer to 10400. Standard message rates may apply, or scan that QR code on your screen. As we go into break, let's take a live look over the beautiful city of Saskatoon.
Canadian home prices dropped in February as lingering economic uncertainty forced sellers to offer bigger discounts to reluctant buyers. The benchmark price of a home in the country fell 0.6%, continuing a string of declines. U.S. diesel now $5 a gallon for the first time since December 2022, the latest sign of surging fuel price pressures menacing the global economy as the war in Iran continues to disrupt energy supplies. Jet fuel has soared above $200 a barrel, and fuel oil, usually a product that trades lower than crude futures, but one that keeps shipping moving, is now close to $140 a barrel. NVIDIA's chief executive officer, Jensen Huang, addressing crowds at the company's biggest annual event, unveiling a variety of new products while predicting that its flagship AI processors would help generate $1 trillion in sales through 2027. I believe that computing demand has increased by 1 million times in the last 2 years, he said. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
If you build it, they will come. Great Western Brewery has just completed a major expansion, so we sent our Mike Siona to check it out. How's it look, Mike?
It looks shiny and new, Jeremy, and that's probably because it is. I think today will be the 8th day since this expansion is operational, but don't take it from me. Michael Brennan, President and CEO of Great Western Brewery, is the man that is standing at my immediate left. Tell me about this expansion, 8th day.
Well, good morning and welcome to our new edition at Great Western Brewing Company. It's our $25 million edition here in downtown Saskatoon, really designed to make sure that brewing stays in this province for the next 100 years.
Fantastic. Now, obviously, the history of Great Western is one that many people know, and the story of the original 16 buying the brewery and that beer could be one of the ones that is made through this this new expansion.
You're absolutely right. And our first brew was launched by one of the original 16. Our the last retiree out of this brewery, Ian Sentaire, came back last Monday to hit the button on our first original 16 Canadian Pale Ale running through the new system.
That's fantastic. Now, what does this mean in terms of the business and here in Saskatoon, job growth, job creation, and as you say, a commitment for the next 100 years?
Absolutely. It's the start of job creation for us. So it ensured that we have the equipment that will allow us to operate for the next 100 years. But it also gives us better efficiency. We're going to be able to use the same great grain that we're getting out of this beautiful province. So Saskatchewan barley is running through all of this equipment, but in a more efficient way. We'll be able to produce more and also produce different products as well. So look forward to that.
Fantastic. And look at that. They're even setting the mood lighting for us. It's fantastic. So much technology in here. We've probably heated it up too much with all the excitement here this morning. And by the way, it's St. Patrick's Day, so it's a great opportunity to maybe enjoy a Great Western product. It won't be ready from these ones here, but there's lots out there to enjoy. We'll be talking about the process as the morning continues.
All right. Mike, thank you very much. Excited to see more this morning.
Brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina, we're at -5 right now, -3 through Saskatoon. 8 degrees by lunch in Regina, and by final bell, getting up to that expected daytime high of 11 degrees. Winds, though, could be gusting up to 45 kilometers per hour at that time. By lunchtime in Saskatoon, 5 degrees and 7 degrees by final bell. Winds a bit calmer through the central zone, up to 25 kilometers per hour at that time. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices in Regina. The common price, 162.9. Just above that, the common price in Saskatoon, 163.9. The lowest you might find in Regina is 140.9, and the lowest you might find in Saskatoon, 149.9. And we continue on to look at those farm markets. The street price of canola is at $631.63 per ton. The futures price, $702.60 per ton. Amber Durum wheat now at $278.59 per ton, and red spring wheat, $274.61 per ton. The Canadian dollar is now up. It's at 73.13 cents US. Coming up in about 15 minutes with warm weather on the way, what that means for this year's spring runoff. Stay with us.
.30, welcome back to your morning. Let's begin with some good news, shall we? It was a sight to behold yesterday. A herd of buffalo returning to the Cowessess First Nation for the first time in more than a century. Jacob Carr reports.
Dozens of members of Cowessess First Nation gathering for the return of buffalo to the Cowessess Plains. Before the big moment, community members singing an honor song to signify the buffalo touching the ground and the land of Cowessess.
We have our honor songs, we have our victory songs, we have our songs for dance, and that drum beat is the heartbeat of us and the heartbeat of that buffalo. They're the same. The buffalo from Peepekessis were herded into a truck and transported to Cowessess before being released into their new habitat. According to a member of Cowessess, the buffalo release was the product of over 3 years of work and partnership between the two First Nations.
This will be a sacred area for the buffalo and for food sustainability to our people. Well, this herd will build significantly enough that we will be able to provide food for our people in years to come.
In a pay-it-forward gesture, once the herd grows in size, Cowessess will be sharing their buffalo with a yet-to-be-determined First Nations community that is part of the Buffalo Treaty Alliance. The chief of Cowessess says the impact of having buffalo back on their First Nation is already being felt.
Even though it's only been a few hours, it's already made that significant impact. It's one of hope. It's one of love. It's one of respect. It's one of kindness, and all of those teachings that we grow up with as First Nations people.
Bowden says there are 20 buffalo in the herd and that the day was about renewal, resurgence, and recapturing and remembering what is running through the people of Cowessess's bloodlines. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
Closing arguments have now been made in the trial of Dylan Whitehawk, a Regina man accused of 2 murders. The Crown prosecutor relayed the consistencies between a number of witnesses of the happenings of November 9th and December 1st of 2019. 6 witnesses placed Whitehawk at the scene of the crimes and firing both shots which killed Jordan Denton and Keenan Toto. In their closing arguments, the defense said those same witnesses cannot be completely trusted, and aside from some evidence, much of the trial is based on these testimonies. The judge is scheduled to charge the jury later this morning. About 1,800 people forced to leave the Kashechewan First Nation due to unsafe water still have no clear date on when they can go back.
People are tired, very tired now with these ongoing issues that are happening in the community.
Kashechewan First Nation in Northern Ontario has been without safe drinking water since January when a pump failure caused sewage to back up into the drinking water supply. Work is being done to repair the community source, but those displaced haven't yet heard when they can return. Evacuees have sent to several places, one of those being Niagara Falls, where a town hall was taking place over the weekend with Indigenous Services Minister Mandy Gull-Masti. Old Man Winter not giving up just yet in Northern Ontario. Many communities blanketed under heavy snow. Better there than here, right? Sault Ste. Marie and Sudbury were some of the hardest hit with up to 43 centimeters of snow. The blast of wintry weather caused a dome in Sudbury to collapse. Winter storm conditions are also persisting in central and northern Quebec today.
I can't go really playing, so it's kind of heartbreaking for me.
I feel you, little fella. Meanwhile, it's wet and soggy on the west coast because of an atmospheric river. Rain is expected to continue until Thursday with anywhere between 90 and 120 milliliters would be a lot of rain. A yellow snow or rainfall warning is in place for Vancouver. Orange rainfall for the Pacific coast of Vancouver Island. The provincial government is naming a Saskatoon lawyer as its new firearms commissioner. Blaine Bevin will step into the role after serving as senior legal counsel in the Saskatchewan Firearms Office since 2022. The transition will follow the retirement of the current commissioner, Robert Freeberg, later this month. Freeberg will stay on as a part-time policy advisor for the next year. We'll meet Blaine coming up on the show today at 8:40. Stay tuned for that. Canada's Farm Show officially opens today. It's happening over at Real District and runs through Thursday. It features some of the latest advancements in farm technology, products, and more. The week will also feature panel discussions and networking opportunities. We'll have coverage as the week wears on. For those craving spring, here's something to soak it in. Maybe this is in Spain, one of the most vivid spring scenes. Thousands of peach trees bursting into bloom. From late February to mid-March, the orchards draw visitors from around the world. So what are we going to get, Kayleen? We had 3 weather stories there. We had heavy snow, we had rain, and we had spring.
Well, mainly we're talking about it feeling like spring this week. Could be another one of those fall springs, even though spring technically does start later on this week. But this today, tomorrow, and into Thursday, we're seeing some really warm temperatures. We do eventually see them start to fall once again, so we can't get too excited. But we can get excited when we're looking outside this morning. A significant improvement from the past few days. Stony Rapids is at -14 this hour. And isn't that better than when we were at around -34 at this time just yesterday? -10 in Buffalo Narrows, -7 in Prince Albert, and -11 to wake us up in Hudson Bay. Down in the south, already seeing quite a few places that are seeing those positive temps already. 4 degrees in East End, 4 degrees in Swift Current, 3 degrees in Assiniboia, -6 through Weyburn and Estevan this hour, and -13 in Yorkton, -3 in Saskatoon, and -5 in Regina. Let's talk about this St. Patrick's Day forecast for the rest of the day. By 10 a.m. in Regina, about 3 degrees, up to 8 degrees by 1 o'clock. 4 p.m., 10 degrees, just below our expected daytime high of 11 degrees. And 7 p.m., 7 degrees. In Saskatoon, 10 a.m., 2 degrees, up to 6 degrees by 1 p.m. 7 degrees by 4 p.m. That is the expected daytime high. And by 7 p.m., 5 degrees. Today's forecast for a few other places in the province, 11 degrees for Swift Current, but you do see that windy icon there. The southwest corner of the province could be seeing winds gusting past 50 kilometers per hour this afternoon. 11 degrees for Weyburn. You see that wintry mix icon there. That is mainly going to be in the morning hours and then moving away for the afternoon. 9 degrees for Estevan and 3 degrees for Yorkton. Let's take a look at just how typical these temperatures are on our almanac. The average for this time of year is right around 0 degrees for both Regina and Saskatoon. Last year we were colder through Regina. It was -5.6 on March 17th of 2025. It was -4.8 last year on this day in Saskatoon. The record was 16.7 for Regina back in 1905, and the record in Saskatoon was also 16.7 most recently in 2010, but we also matched that record in 1905. 7-day forecast looking really favorable again, peaking on Thursday in Regina at 17 degrees. In Saskatoon, 6 degrees on Thursday, but we do see some rain on the way for your afternoon tomorrow.
Hey there, Lindsay Hamilton inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment for Monday. We are taking a trip to the KHL for this one. It is an unbelievable shootout goal from Semyon Draguchitsev. Ooh, baby, filthy mitts right there. Some real nice hand-eye coordination and definitely worthy of your must-see moment from Monday. Meanwhile, today on TSN, we've got the BKT World Women's Curling Championship between Italy and Canada. It all starts at 11 a.m. Eastern on TSN 1. That's all for now from the Sports Center Newsroom. Have a terrific Tuesday.
Eager for spring to begin. The big question for producers right now is always about the melt and the runoff report. And that's what we're going to talk a little bit about this morning as we welcome in the CEO of the Water Security Agency, Sean Jacques, this morning. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thanks for having me, Daryl.
Did you say Jakes, correct?
Jakes,
Sean
that's
Jakes,
correct.
Yes. Let's remind people out there what the Water Security Agency is all about.
Yeah, so the Water Security Agency looks after just about everything water related for the province. So one of our important functions is preparing the spring runoff report that was just released last week.
How do you get to that data?
So the work actually starts in the fall when we look at what are the conditions like going into freeze up. And then we monitor the snowpack over the winter, and then as well as the snowpack in the mountain. And then as we near spring, when the runoff begins, we start to calculate and determine, what that runoff will look like.
When I looked at the report, a lot of places reported below or well below. Who's doing well? Let's start with the positive.
So on the east side of the province, around Yorkton, we're going to see well above, we're expecting well above normal runoff. And then most of the province is going to see normal to below. And then unfortunately, there's a small portion from like Kindersley down to Assiniboia that's going to see well below normal runoff.
What's the knock-on effect for producers and farmers?
Well, this is the runoff, what will fill up reservoirs and fill up dugouts and help recharge soil moisture. But for producers, they do rely on spring rains, to help to recharge that moisture. And we saw last week much of southwest Saskatchewan receive significant snowfall, which was very welcomed to that part of the province.
It always is. Are you seeing a trend year over year where things are getting worse, or is this something that ebbs and flows year to year?
It does ebb and flow. And on the positive side, what we are actually seeing is the snowpack in the Rocky Mountains is well above normal this year. And that has an impact on the Saskatchewan River Basin. And so into May and June, as that melts, we are anticipating an increase of inflows into Lake Diefenbaker, which is good for our province.
What has you worried at this point?
Right now, things are going normal, I think. The southwest is a bit of a concern. We have a few reservoirs in the southwestern part of the province, which are going to be a challenge for those communities. So we're going to continue to monitor how things unfold.
There's a lot of ice out there right now. Is ice a good thing? Well, primarily, you're worried about rain and snow.
We primarily look at snowpack and rains, and so we're hoping for some more snow and some more spring precipitation to help moisture conditions.
So you want me to talk to the weather people and get one more blast of snow?
One more in the southwest, for sure.
What do you hear from your office? Is there feedback from farmers once this report comes out?
We do get a lot of questions, questions from producers, questions from communities, what they can expect. Are there any areas that, are going to anticipate any flooding? And right now, we don't anticipate any flooding happening. It depends how quick the snow melts. As I said, there's a portion on the east side of the province that has well above normal snowpack, so we're thinking there could be, above normal runoff there.
Where do you shift your focus now after runoff? You focus on what?
So we will do another report in early April as runoff occurs, and then also the Water Security Agency, we look after, managing the reservoirs in our province. We do the regulatory work for communities for drinking water and wastewater, and any work around lakes and rivers and things like that. So that'll be our work.
Thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us this morning, getting up early for us.
Thank you for having me.
A Saskatoon mother whose daughter struggles to breathe says they have been waiting almost 2 years to see a surgeon. As Carla Shinkaruk explains, the strain is taking its toll on the family as they wait for answers.
To have no answers at all.
2 years ago, Cassie Reed's daughter started having trouble breathing with fluid dripping into her lungs.
She coughs till she pukes, and she cries in her sleep. It sometimes scares me on how hard she coughs sometimes, because it sounds like she has completely lost the ability to breathe.
She says says she's had to take time off her job at times as they wait for care, and constant coughing is oftentimes forcing the 9-year-old to miss out.
We're either not going to school, or I have to call ahead of time to the school and say, there's no outside, there's no gym, she can't today.
Reed says the family saw a specialist in October of 2024, but months later learned the doctor had left indefinitely. Since then, they've been waiting for another appointment with a surgeon with no timeline for when the procedures might happen. Opposition health critic Keith Jorgensen says stories like this highlight ongoing problems in Saskatchewan's healthcare system.
We hear stories all the time about people waiting very, very long periods of time for surgery, or in this case, just to see a specialist.
CTV News reached out to the Ministry of Health and did not get a response by deadline.
The best way I can describe it is...
But for Reed and her daughter, the wait continues, and they're hopeful for the best case scenario and good news.
There's a surgery booked, and it's relatively soon.
Carla Shinkaruk, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
So today we are celebrating St. Patrick's Day, and to kick things off, Janelle Lippi spending her morning at Shannon's Pub. Good morning, Janelle.
Hi, Jeremy. Good morning. That's right. Lots of fun stuff on the way. And I've got Chris and Thomas here with me. We're going to talk all about what we can expect. Thomas, let's start with you. Talk to me about some of the festivities going on at Shannon's Pub.
Good morning. So happy St. Paddy's Day to start with. So today we've got Irish dancing, live Irish dancing throughout the day, and then a lot of live music throughout the day as well. And we've got special drinks on and special food as well. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting day ahead of us.
All right. What are you hoping to see? What time does all of this start, and how can people be a part?
It'll start now in the next hour or so, and then it'll continue right through till probably 4 a.m. in the next morning. So it's going to be a long day. Yeah, absolutely will be. So
yeah, very long day then. So compared to previous years, what are you hoping to see those years bring into this one?
Well, it's going to be, we had a lot of support from the local community, so I think just for everyone to come out and support today, and whether you're in other bars in town or definitely Shannon's Pub and Grill. So yeah, just mainly support and celebrate St. Paddy's Day, and it's a good family day out as well. So it's going to be exciting, very exciting.
How does it feel to see the community come together like that?
It's absolutely brilliant. Every year, Shannon's been growing for the last 12, 14 years, and it's just grown every day, so it's excellent. Yeah, really nice.
All right, now let's talk a little bit about drinks. What is the most popular drink that you see ordered today?
Happy St. Patrick's Day first and foremost, but obviously today is today. It's Guinness all day, every day. We're going all week. Best pour in town. And that's the idea, that's the idea. At the end of the day, we're here, it's St. Patrick's Day, we're celebrating culture, whether it be drink, food, dancing, it's all Irish culture. This is the day, 17th of March, every year, that's what it's all about.
All right, well, thank you both so very much. Once again, happy St. Patrick's Day. This is down at Shannon's Pub in Regina. Lots of fun here ahead of the entire day.
That's great, Janelle. Looks like a good time. We'll check back in with you next hour.
It's March 17th, and we have these St. Patrick's Day milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Logan, who turns 17 years old today. We hope you have a great day. Lots of love from your mom and the kids. And Logan's mom also sent in this shout out for her grandma Vesta, who is now 82 years old. Happy birthday. We hope you have a special day. And turning 14 years old today is Caden. Happy birthday to you, with lots of love from your mom, dad, and Jesse.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca, or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please send those in at least one day in advance.
What's going on the radio today, Chase?
We are talking about how you might have got stitches. We shared the story yesterday. Riley Green was performing a show in Australia. Someone had decided, hey, you know what would be a great idea? If I throw my phone on stage, then he can take a selfie and hand it back. He did not see that phone coming, hit him in the side of the head, and he ended up with 5 stitches kind of right around the ear area. So how did you get your stitches? A lot of butter knives trying to split burgers. Those texts coming in this morning. Also, get ready at 7 o'clock. We'll have your next keyword for the big $50K payday. That could land you $50,000, so have us ready and going with the iHeartRadio app.
3 in December from a high stick right here. And I was about to tell that, and then Kayleen said, oh, I had a baby. She came out the sunroof, and I was like, you win.
Yep. No,
you win.
That always
Can't compete with that.
Definitely.
Nope. Ultimate win.
American Girls. Harry Styles is back on top of the charts. Harry's new album, Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally, has debuted on top of the Billboard 200. All 4 of his albums have debuted at the #1 spot.
Live from London, it's Saturday night.
SNL UK has found its first 3 celebrity hosts. Tina Fey is set to host the inaugural episode of the series on March 21st, followed by Jamie Dornan on March 28th and Riz Ahmed April 4th. The show will air live in the UK and be available to watch in the US the next day.
I don't know why you came all the way up here. There's nothing left.
A Quiet Place Part 3 has found its cast. Director John Krasinski announced on Monday that Emily Blunt, Cillian Murphy, Noah Jupe, and Millicent Simmons will all return for the 3rd film in the series, and that they will be joined by new cast members Jack O'Connell, Jason Clarke, and Katie O'Brien. And happy birthday to Rob Lowe, who is 62 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
All right, here's a dancing kid to kick off your sidebar. There we go. This is Brave Braden. That's what he goes by. Asked to dance during halftime at his Big Brothers basketball game. Of course he did. Just jumped out there, which is great because there's only 7 people there at the Big Brothers basketball game.
Yeah,
so it's not like a lot of
not
pressure.
a huge crowd.
This is not at the Final Four. This is, you look up the stands and there's Gary and there's Sally.
So this kid, not only is he talented,
Still
but
takes
he is
guts.
so courageous.
Still takes guts.
To just get up there and do what you love to do.
Yep.
I hope we can all take inspiration from this kid today.
Okay.
All right, here's to another one for you, to a little nostalgia for those who grew up with early morning cartoons.
Oh, I miss those.
Pulled off the ultimate disguise while running away from his chaser. He put on glasses, started reading a book, just like Jerry the mouse from Tom and Jerry.
Okay, yeah.
I taught him that trick. Worked just as planned.
I thought the lead in there was a little bit of a stretch, but
Yeah.
I get it now. I get it. Okay.
Works in cartoons, why not?
Yeah, seems plausible-ish. Do we have time for one more? All right, so let's get to those fans of AI. This is what your friends would sound like if they channeled ChatGPT.
You're not broken. You're buffering. You're not overthinking, dude. You're just thinking a lot. You're not just asking questions anymore, man. You're actually looking for answers. You're not broken.
What do you think, JD? Is this just a positive spin?
I'm not, no.
Guys making videos for clicks. More of them coming up next hour.
Yeah.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. It's March 17th.
And we have here a province that is willing to make that the power available to generate that compute capacity at scale.
Bell is officially announcing the building of a new AI data center near Regina.
She coughs till she pukes, and she cries in her sleep.
Saskatoon mother who says her daughter struggles to breathe says they've been waiting almost 2 years to see a surgeon.
This case shows what happens when students' concerns aren't taken seriously. We shouldn't have to fight this hard just to be heard and to feel safe in our own school.
A Saskatoon teen who doused her classmate in gasoline and set her on fire has been sentenced the maximum youth allowable. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Keeleen. Good morning and happy St. Patrick's Day.
May the luck of the Irish be upon you. If you're not wearing green today, you might want to go back upstairs and put on a little something so you don't get pinched.
Yeah,
we still do that? Is that still probably not allowed anymore?
Yet I came in this morning and I looked around and I said, who's wearing green? You're lucky.
Yeah, there's an element to that still. We're still looking for answers for our question of the day. You can text in to our text line. It's on your screen, or scan the QR code looking for what you consider to be lucky, your lucky charms. Let's get over to our news, which begins with Saskatchewan has hopes of transforming it into an AI hub, and yesterday announcing a major investment. Bell Canada, the parent company of this network, is partnering with the province to bring a $1.7 billion data center online, the largest in the company history in terms of investments in this province. Alison Bamford, more on the impact.
This empty field just outside the city of Regina could house the country's largest AI data center in a year's time.
That means hundreds of new jobs, resulting in a significant contribution to national Canadian data sovereignty.
Bell Canada, which owns CTV, says it plans to build a 300-megawatt AI data center in the rural municipality of Sherwood, which will increase Canada's domestic AI capacity.
What Bell AI Fabric is, it's Canada's digital backbone in a sense, a full-stack national network designed to deliver AI to thousands of Canadian businesses, governments, and institutions.
Bell says the data center could generate up to $12 billion in economic value.
The procurement and supply chain requirements present clear opportunities for small and medium-sized businesses as well.
The project could fuel more than 1,600 jobs, 800 during the construction phase, another 80 full-time jobs once the center is operational, plus an additional 750 spin-off jobs.
We want to be involved from the construction all the way through to operations.
The George Gordon First Nation owns the land across the road. They have an agreement with Bell to focus on Indigenous procurement.
For us, this is going to be a real key to bringing our people up to speed.
Water usage has been a main concern for Regina residents. Some AI data centers use large amounts of water in the cooling systems, but Bell says that won't be an issue here.
The project will use a closed-loop cooling system, meaning it will not draw from municipal water sources.
Construction is slated for this spring, and the first phase of the facility is scheduled to come online in the first half of 2027. Alison Bamford, CTV News, Regina.
The provincial government facing criticism this morning for a planned increase to the basic auto insurance deductible. That deductible is currently $700, but will rise to $950 on January 1st of 2027. The government says the change will offset inflation and rising vehicle repair costs, while the NDP opposition says it's another in a growing list of fee increases.
The fact of the matter is that today our province of Saskatchewan is the most affordable province in the nation of Canada to live, Mr. Speaker. We are seeing investment come into this province, creating careers, Mr. Speaker.
SGI is also introducing a $15 administration fee on driver license renewals and $5 more for vehicle registrations. Jeremy, more to that top story about the student who doused her classmate in gasoline and lit her on fire. Now a sentence has been handed out.
Yeah, Daryl, it's been a long-awaited outcome for the families. And CTV's Laura Woodward now on how much time she'll serve and how her family's feeling about this long-awaited verdict.
A Saskatoon teen who doused her classmate in gasoline and set her on fire has been handed the maximum youth sentence for attempted murder. 3 years, 2 years in custody, followed by 1 year of community supervision. The teen has already spent more than 500 days in custody, but unlike most cases, that time will not be credited toward her sentence.
Yes, we are glad the courts are now concluded, and we're disappointed with the short duration of the sentence.
The victim, the accused, and their families cannot be identified under a youth publication ban. Ahead of the attack at Evan Hardy Collegiate, court heard the offender became obsessed with the victim and her best friend, contacting them using multiple phone numbers and social media accounts.
We did everything we thought we could to prevent this tragedy.
The victim's family and parents of her best friend say they reported the situation to police and were told a school safety plan would be implemented.
This case shows what happens when students' concerns aren't taken seriously. We shouldn't have to fight this hard just to be heard and to feel safe in our own school.
The Crown initially wanted an adult sentence, but dropped that request following a Supreme Court ruling that clarifies when one can be pursued. The court says the severity of the crime alone is not enough. Prosecutors must also prove the youth has an adult-like level of maturity.
With the particular circumstances of the offender, it was not a pathway that we could pursue any longer.
Court heard the offender has been diagnosed with autism, anxiety, pyromania, and schizophrenia spectrum disorder. The youth sentence has a focus on treatment and rehabilitation, addressing the factors behind the crime to prevent future offending. Laura Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
All right, Daryl, the latest out of the Middle East now this morning.
Yeah, Jeremy, thank you. Where Israel is claiming that military has killed its top Iranian security official in an overnight strike. Israel's foreign minister announcing this morning that Israeli forces have killed Iran's security chief and the head of one of its militias.
We will not be engaging offensively in this war. I want to be very clear. We are not going to be engaging offensively in this war. And the question of the Strait of Hormuz is one that is evolving. It's changing. It's hard to get hard information, to be honest with you.
Defense Minister David McGuinty of Canada making it clear we will not be participating in the war offensively, but did say Canada is, quote, leaving the door open to providing assistance in the Middle East. It's an annual surefire sign of spring. Regina's soft serve scene is getting ready to start a new season with one option already up and running. Desart Sweets launching their soft serve menu last week, while Milky Way kicks off the season, marking 70 years since its first opening. That'll happen on Thursday. Elle's Cafe will open its soft serve window 2 days later on March 21st. And spring, is that official on, is that Thursday or Friday?
Friday.
Friday is the first day. We have to make somebody very, very happy this morning.
Yeah, and the anticipation is palpable. For the past few weeks, we've been giving you the chance to win an unforgettable getaway to Hong Kong, and now it's time to announce the lucky winner. Congratulations to Marina Chan. You have won a trip for two to Hong Kong, courtesy of the Hong Kong Tourism Board. Your prize includes round-trip flights on Cathay Pacific, 4 luxurious nights at the Park Lane Hong Kong, $1,000 spending money, and more. Get ready to explore vibrant markets and serene temples, indulge in world-class cuisine, and take in breathtaking views of Hong Kong. Enjoy your trip, Marina. Let's turn our attention back home here to Saskatchewan. Not a bad start to the day. Really all across the province, warmer than what we saw yesterday. It's -5 to wake us up in Regina. We are seeing quite a bit of cloud cover to start the day. Winds stronger than what we have been seeing in the past few mornings. They're coming in right now at 26 kilometers per hour. The gusts will be increasing this afternoon, especially down south. Not so much through the central zone. Saskatoon, not going to be seeing them quite as strong this afternoon. -3 right now to wake us up. Again, seeing a little bit of that sunshine this morning, but quite a bit of clouds and winds at 15 kilometers per hour to start the day. Of course, it is St. Patrick's Day, so we have to take a look at your St. Paddy's Day forecast in Regina. A beautiful day. We're really getting lucky today. 11 degrees with a mix of sun and clouds all throughout the afternoon. In Saskatoon, not quite as warm, but still well above the seasonal average, which is about 0 degrees this time of year. 7 degrees this afternoon, though, for Saskatoon. So again, it's the luck of not necessarily the Irish, but the luck of Saskatchewan here today as we get closer to that official start to spring. 8 degrees for the Battlefords this afternoon. We have 3 degrees for Yorkton. You do see that snow icon there. That is the last little bit of that system that we saw making its way through the province overnight into the later parts of the afternoon. That shouldn't be a concern. 11 degrees for Weyburn, the same kind of situation with that precipitation there this morning. 9 degrees for Estevan, 13 in Moose Jaw, and 11 degrees for Swift Current. The wind's going to be gusting the strongest around that southwest corner of the province, up to about 55 kilometers per hour there. Now, we did get some snow overnight, so if you're looking outside your window this morning and you're thinking, I'm just sick of this snow, I want it gone, well, the temperatures should be melting it today, and I just wanted to show you some perspective here with this snowfall. The greatest Regina snowfall happened in 1998 on St. Patrick's Day. That was 12 centimeters of snow in Regina. The record for the snow on ground in Regina was back in 1956. That was 52 centimeters of snow on the ground. Saskatoon, your greatest snowfall on this day, March 17th, happened back in 1982. That was 5.8 centimeters, so not a ton. And the greatest amount of snow on the ground in Saskatoon, that was back in 1997, and that was 55 centimeters of snow. So again, if you're looking outside the window this morning and thinking, I just wish spring was here, it is coming, especially with these nice double-digit temperatures down south. Time now for a look at your rural forecast. We're seeing some really nice temperatures in parts of the province today. Double digits in Kindersley, 14 degrees, 12 degrees in Outlook, and -2 in Hudson Bay. You do see that snow icon. Don't worry too much about that into the afternoon hours. That system will be pushing away into Manitoba. 4 degrees in Wynyard, down towards the south. More of those double-digit temperatures, but also stronger wind gusts, up to about 55 kilometers per hour. 14 degrees, though, for Rockglen, 15 in Coronach, and 7 degrees for Carlisle and Broadview. Let's take a look at Norquay, where internet plans up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel. -2, again seeing some light snow or freezing rain pushing away into the later parts of the afternoon. Winds gusting up to 35 kilometers per hour.
Today is St. Patrick's Day, a day when beer is top of mind for many, and that's perhaps a perfect segue to our Mike Siona, who is at Great Western Brewery this morning. Mike, what's going on down there?
I'll tell you what's going on. They've fired up this new $25 million expansion. The grinding is happening. All of the beer making process has begun. And I'm here with Alan Genet, who's the VP of Operations at Great Western, to talk about it, because it is quite the expansion. Talk us through what, I mean, this is kind of like your baby, this project.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, Mike. 2.5 years or so. April of 24, we started this process. And it's been a big build. As you can see, the equipment around you is quite amazing. It's going to be a wonderful kind of next level for Great Western Brewing here in Saskatoon.
Fantastic. So what was the build process like? I mean, you got to kind of dream this up, and then to scale it to this size and this magnitude must have been quite a challenge.
It was, yes. Just excavating. There's a lot of rock under this area, so it was a bit of a task just drilling holes in the ground, as well as just the construction of the building. The equipment itself is amazing, and how it was put in and assembled is quite the task. With the trades that hoisted all the tanks and put all the equipment together, it's like a giant mechano set.
Yeah, it's pretty cool down here, and I mean, we've got different pipes running everywhere. And I understand, like, the system is self-cleaning as well.
Yes, it's an fully automated system that is state of the art. I'm not sure there's too many like this in North America, so it's really quite exciting for Great Western Brewing to be leading edge in technology and in brewing.
How does it change? I mean, the process of making beer remains the same. I assume we're going to talk with Devin a little bit later about that, but were there some hiccups in terms of trying to scale it to this?
No, actually, the engineering was amazing, to put it all together and fit it into a building of this size. So the company that we used is well known across all over the world, actually. They do this everywhere, so they were pretty dialed in when they made this one. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, love it. Thank you very much for having us down here. We will talk to Devin a little bit later on this morning to find out exactly how everything comes together in the process of beer from grain to glass.
All right, Mike, quite the facility down there. We'll see you again in just a little while.
Hey there, Lindsay Hamilton inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment for Monday. We are taking a trip to the KHL for this one. It is an unbelievable shootout goal from Semyon Dragicev. Ooh, baby, filthy mitts right there. some real nice hand-eye coordination and definitely worthy of your must-see moment from Monday. Meanwhile, today on TSN, we've got the BKT World Women's Curling Championship between Italy and Canada. It all starts at 11 a.m. Eastern on TSN 1. That's all for now from the SportsCenter newsroom. Have a terrific Tuesday.
Well, a night before St. Patrick's Day, an Irish pub appeared beneath a basketball hoop in a Massachusetts driveway. Brothers Matt and Greg Taylor built this miniature Irish pub on wheels. So they tow it to driveways, weddings, backyard parties. That's right. Instead of heading out to celebrate tonight, they will bring the party to you. It's quite elaborate, actually. It's got antique signs, church pews, and the bar is crafted from the front panel of a piano built in 1864.
This is such a great idea.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
St. Patty's Tavern. I guess
how
you
many
could probably
people
swap
does
that
it
out.
seat?
Yeah.
It looked like 5-ish, comfortably, right?
But it's a great idea.
It's coming to your house. Cool. How many people do you like more than 5? How many people do you like, right? Like, I don't like more than 5 people.
That's a good point. 5 is plenty.
That's 5's lots. Maybe it'll bring you a little bit of luck today as you pour that green beer.
That's right. And we're asking you for a question of the day today. What brings you good luck? Apparently, nobody has good luck. We did get one answer in that just said, I don't have good luck, I have bad luck.
Oh.
So we want to hear from you.
Like
what
Jeremy.
is something that brings you good luck? What is your good luck charm?
They're like Jeremy, they just don't believe in luck.
Yeah, I don't have bad luck or good luck.
Okay, make your own luck. Scan the QR code. Give us some answers. Wake up. Your phone's already in your hand. Let's do our question, our morning mystery, right after this short break.
Tonight, a W5 exclusive investigation.
It knocks the breath out of you.
Their teenage daughter faces life in prison.
This is just the tip of the iceberg.
We reveal the shocking number of young Canadians behind bars in Hong Kong and expose the Canadian recruiters who lured them there.
They're preying on people's innocence and trust.
W5 investigates tonight on CTV National News and ctvnews.ca.
Time for your morning mystery. They tell us it's going to be hard. It is a film today. Play along at home. 3 clues. First one's coming at you right now. It is a classic 1959 Disney film inspired by Irish folklore. 1959. I bet you they can't run it now. I bet you they couldn't air it now. Sean Connery's role in the movie led to him being cast as James Bond. Okay.
Whoa, pre-Bond Connery?
Renowned for its masterful use of forced perspective to make leprechauns appear small alongside humans. They used the same effect in the movie Elf years later.
I don't know any Disney movies about leprechauns.
I
don't either.
I don't think this is right.
You know what? After the second clue, I was going to guess Pinocchio, but I can't spell Pinocchio.
It's old. I've seen it. It's 100 years ago that I saw it, though. It was like Wonderful World of Disney. You got a question mark.
I don't even have a guess.
You don't
I
have
know,
a guess.
Zero.
It's like something in the Little People. Danny and the Little People. I'm going with Danny because it's stereotypical Irish. You got a blank board there. What do we got for the answer? Darby O'Gill and the Little People.
So,
okay. Do I get half points for and the little people?
No, half points.
I've never heard of that.
I'm bitter.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, I guess. That was your morning mystery.
I am joined by Mirko Bibic, who is the president and CEO of BCE, Bell Canada. Bell, as many people might know it here in Saskatchewan. Thank you for joining us today. Thanks for making time.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for making the time.
Huge announcement regarding the AI data center coming to Saskatchewan. Maybe let's talk a little bit about artificial intelligence in general. We're seeing it in society, in every industry right now across the world. How important is it for Bell to get to the forefront of AI, as well as maybe even Canada to get to the forefront of AI?
Right. So AI is definitely going to be the motor of economic growth and productivity going forward. So as a country, we need to and ought to want to play in it and be at the epicenter of it Of course, we've got amazing AI researchers, and what we're talking here today with the announcement is industrializing AI at scale so that we drive economic growth. So very important for us. We have a role to play here. It's part of our core capabilities, and we are so proud to be making our largest investment ever in the province of Saskatchewan. We'll be investing directly, BCE, $1.7 billion over the next 18 months.
You talked about the province of Saskatchewan's government, but you're partnering with a lot of different entities as well with this program, universities, post-secondary institutions, as well as other communities as well to make this work.
Correct. So we're partnering with SaskTel. SaskTel is going to be bringing the fiber that we need to interconnect the site. We'll be working with Sask Power and Transgas. We're also going to be working collaboratively, going to market and encouraging customers to use AI in our site with SaskTel. And we're also super proud to partner with the Polytechnic and the University of Regina. We're going to be providing some AI credits so that they can conduct research through the facility, and super proud to be partnering with the George Gordon First Nation on procurement and workforce and we've got other plans in the works with them.
How do you address maybe some of the concerns about any environmental factors? I know that's something that you've looked at going into this process.
So there have been a couple of concerns that we've been mindful of, that we've heard, particularly around drawing water. This facility will not draw upon local water at all. It's a closed loop cooling system, so in other words, no water is drawn at all. And in terms of data centers like this, always kind of there's kind of waste heat that's created, and we're going to be looking at redirecting the waste heat and into a district energy system, so we can actually reuse that waste heat for good effect.
Thank you very much for doing this interview, and we'll look forward to see when 2027 comes around.
Thank you. Appreciate the time.
Your school day forecast is brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina, -5 this hour, -3 through Saskatoon. And we are seeing some increasing levels of cloud cover this hour. By lunchtime in Regina, 8 degrees. And by lunchtime in Saskatoon, 5 degrees. By final bell, 11 degrees. Getting into those double digits in Regina. Winds, though, could be gusting up to 45 kilometers per hour. So we will be noticing those. Through Saskatoon, not as strong of winds. 7 degrees, though, this afternoon, not quite cracking into those double digits. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices. The common price in Regina is $1.62.9. You might find it for as low as $1.49. In Saskatoon, common price $1.63.9. You might find it for as low as $1.49.9. In the farm markets this morning, the street price of canola is $631.63 per ton. The futures price $702.60 per ton. Amber Durum wheat now at $278.59 per ton, and red spring wheat $274.61 per ton. The Canadian dollar trending up. It's at 73.13 cents US. We'll be right back.
.30, welcome back to Your Morning. My name is Daryl. Employees at a North Battleford cab company are in mourning today. One of its drivers was killed Friday while on the job. As Hallie Mandrick reports, RCMP have laid charges now in the case.
This was the scene Friday morning along Highway 16 in North Battleford. RCMP say a man was found injured in a parking lot and died of his injuries at the scene. Crown Cab has identified the victim as one of its drivers, 30-year-old Devinder Singh. The owner telling CTV News, Singh was sent to Hitching Post Motel to pick up a fare when the violence broke out. 2 19-year-old men have since been charged. Kojak Adams is facing 1 count of first-degree murder and 2 firearm-related charges. Garen Baptiste has been charged with manslaughter, and both men are each facing 1 count of forcible confinement. Crown Cab has resumed operations after pausing its services for the weekend following Singh's death. The owner says many employees are left feeling scared and some drivers have left their jobs. He says his cabs will now have increased security measures, including CCTV cameras and a policy requiring backpacks and bags to be placed in the trunk. The company is donating all proceeds from its first day back in business to Singh's family. Singh was described as friendly and always willing to help out. The owner of Crown Cab told CTV that he wasn't just a driver, he was a brother. Anyone looking to give donations or flowers to the family may do so by leaving them at the Crown Cab office. As for the two men charged, they have made their first appearances in court and will remain in custody until their next court appearance on March 30th. Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Closing arguments have now been made in the trial of Dylan Whitehawk, a Regina man accused of 2 murders. The Crown prosecutor relayed the consistencies between a number of witnesses of the happenings of November 9th and December 1st in 2019. 6 witnesses placed Whitehawk at the scene of the crime and firing both shots that killed Jordan Denton and Keenan Toto. In their closing arguments, the defense said those same witnesses cannot be completely trusted, and aside from some evidence, much of the trial is based on those testimonies. The defense added the actual shooters could have been others who were with Whitehawk. The judge is scheduled to charge the jury this morning. It was a sight to behold, a herd of buffalo returning to the Cowessess First Nation for the first time in more than a century. As a result of an agreement between the First Nations of Papikassis and Cowessess, a herd of 20 buffalo were released into the Cowessess Plains on Monday. That marks the first time the First Nation has had buffalo on the plains in over a century. That's according to their chief.
We're very thankful to Chief Dieter of the Papikassis First Nation, as well as all of the leadership there, the Katayak over there, the elders over there, in sharing their buffalo herd with us so that we may benefit from that exchange.
Chief Bowden says once the herd grows in size, Cowessess will pay it forward by passing on some of their buffalo to a neighboring First Nation that is in the Buffalo Treaty Alliance. Hundreds more flights canceled or delayed in the U.S. one day after powerful storms swept across the eastern half of the country. Sweeping storms caused thousands of flights to be canceled or delayed yesterday. This comes as travelers are facing additional jams at airport security checkpoints, with partial U.S. government shutdown putting strains on screening staff. TSA workers have already been working without paychecks for a month, and some have been quitting. The disruptions come as airports are crowded with spring break travelers and fans of March Madness heading to check out some basketball games. A powerful atmospheric river is drenching BC's south coast, raising concerns about flooding, landslides, and avalanches.
So we've had a lot of precipitation coming off the coast with rising freezing levels. So anytime there's a rapid change in the snowpack, the snow tends to destabilize and become reactive to avalanches.
Environment Canada says the atmospheric river is expected to last through Wednesday, with upwards of 80 millimeters of rain predicted for some areas of BC. Transportation Minister says it's monitoring the forecast and possible flooding and other impacts it could have on the highway. Avalanche Canada has also issued a level 3 considerable avalanche risk. A Saskatoon mother who says her daughter struggles to breathe says they have been waiting for almost 2 years to see a surgeon. Cassie Reed says fluid has been dripping onto her 9-year-old daughter's Octavia's lungs for 2 years, causing breathing problems, constant coughing, and forcing her to miss school and other activities. She's had to miss work to take her daughter to take care of her. NDP Shadow Minister for Health Keith Jorgensen brought the mom to question period on Monday. The family saw a specialist in October 2024, but learned that the doctor had left the province shortly thereafter. Since then, they've been fighting and waiting for another appointment with a surgeon, but no timeline has ever been given.
She coughs till she pukes, and she cries in her sleep. It sometimes scares me on how hard she coughs sometimes, because it sounds like she has completely lost the ability to breathe.
We've reached out to the Saskatchewan Health Authority. We're waiting for a response from them. Alberta will play host to part, at least, of the World Cup of Hockey in 2028. Calgary will host 7 games at the new Scotia Place, which doesn't look like a saddle and brings me great dismay. That's going to happen late next year. Edmonton's Roger Place will hold 2 semifinal games and the championship. Alberta will share hosting duties with Prague. Now, that's quite a hop, skip, and a jump across the world, isn't it? The event is part of a string of international hockey competitions involving NHL players. It comes on the heels of the Four Nations face-off and, of course, the Winter Olympic Games. Does it not bring you a little sadness? You're from closer than I am. I was in Brooks my whole life, but I'm a Flames fan. You're in Okotoks. Does it not make you a little sad that it's not going to be shaped like a saddle anymore? The skyline changes.
It does make me sad, but I will say I think I hope they have some sort of section for Ken King. I want some sort of...
Yeah. I'm not against progress. I like that. I don't know.
All right, let's turn our attention here to the weather picture because thankfully the forecast got the memo that it's St. Patrick's Day. We want to see a little bit of green on everybody today, and that includes the forecast. I know it doesn't look like a lot, and it is mainly into Alberta this morning. We're just getting just a little bit of that green shading into Saskatchewan. It's time for those spring-like temperatures, folks. I know you're thinking, why are you getting so excited about just a little bit? Because mainly we're still seeing pink colors up north, a lot of blue down through the south, but it does indicate that the temperatures are improving. Minus 14 in Stony Rapids, and that is quite an improvement compared to yesterday when we were at about minus 36 around this time. Minus 12 in La Ronge right now, minus 10 in Nipawin, minus 10 in Melfort. Down in the south, already seeing some positive temperatures, 4 degrees in East End, in Swift Current, in Moose Jaw, 2 degrees in Assiniboia, minus 5 through Weyburn this hour, and minus 12 through Yorkton. Saskatoon, you're waking up to minus 3 right now. Not a bad start to the day, and minus 5 in Regina. Later on, we'll be seeing about 2 degrees by 10 a.m. in Regina. By 1 o'clock, 8 degrees. By 4 p.m., 10 degrees, just below that expected daytime high of 11 degrees. And by 7 p.m., 7 degrees. Your St. Paddy's Day forecast in Saskatoon looking like we'll be up to 2 degrees by 10 a.m. By 1 o'clock, 6 degrees. 7 degrees by 4 o'clock. That is the expected high of the afternoon. And 7 p.m., we'll be seeing about 5 degrees. Other areas in the province seeing very similar conditions. 11 degrees expected for Swift Current, for Weyburn, 13 degrees expected in Moose Jaw. We do see in the southwest corner of the province, winds are going to be gusting up to about 55 kilometers per hour this afternoon. You also see some precipitation in the areas around Yorkton, Weyburn, and Estevan. Mainly, we're talking about that for the current this morning. We're still seeing the last little bit of that system from overnight. So right now, we're still seeing it up north through some parts of central Saskatchewan, some parts of southern Saskatchewan as well. Into the later parts of the afternoon, that is going to be pushing away from the province, just seeing the last little bit of it way up north. We're talking about some rain on the way for tomorrow in areas around Prince Albert. It starts early on in the morning, and then by the afternoon, we see another part of the system bringing some rain and freezing rain to areas around Saskatoon, and then again, that will be pushing away. Temperatures peaking by Thursday in the province for Regina. That means 17 degrees, and for Saskatoon, that means 6 degrees with, again, a little bit of rain coming before then.
The incident happened on February the 26th, 2026 at around 3 o'clock in the morning. A man and a woman attempted to break into an apartment complex on the 1700 block of Hamilton Street. They appear to make several attempts to bypass a keypad entry, but then later the man is seen trying to use a crowbar to pry open the metal door. The first suspect is described as a man wearing a black, shiny, puffy winter coat, a black hoodie, black pants with white stripes down the leg, and white and black runners. Suspect number 2 is described as a woman, appears to have reddish-brown shoulder-length hair. She was wearing a brown hoodie underneath a black jacket, black or gray pants, and black shoes.
I'm Constable Dana Adams with the Regina Police Service. Did you know that Crime Stoppers will pay up to $2,000 cash reward for information on this or any other serious crime in Regina? Callers do not have to identify themselves. Calls are not traced or recorded. In Regina, Saskatchewan, and Canada, call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS. That's 1-800-222-8477. You can also access our website at www.reginacrimestoppers.ca. Remember, our community suffers when you remain silent. Please report crime.
Crime Stoppers is brought to you by Leak Audiology, helping you live well with better hearing.
All right, it's time for the cutest part of the week. We're meeting our pet of the week. And today, Bill Thorne is introducing us to a beautiful cat named Ashley. Good morning to you, Bill. Tell us about who you have.
Well, you hit beautiful right on the head of the nail there. This is a beautiful cat named Ashley, as you mentioned, 9 months old, so Still a kitten, kind of bordering on that sort of teenager age, but as you can see, seems quite content to be held and cuddled. She's purring up a storm here too, and has been for the last number of minutes. So really, really affectionate, friendly cat. I think we get along with just about anyone. And I should point out a couple things. First of all, her adoption is fully sponsored by a very generous member of our community. And shortly after our visit this morning with you guys at CTV, she's going to be heading off to our satellite adoption center at Pet Depot on McCarthy Boulevard, where she'll be able to be seen, met, and be adopted right from there. So she should be there by about lunchtime today.
Wow, all right. She's got the tour on today, so everybody can go and check Ashley out. She's looking for her forever home, and boy, does she deserve it. Also, a lot of other animals there, Bill, right now that are deserving of some forever homes. Some of them are going to be featured for your telethon. That's coming up on Sunday. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, it's going to be the culmination of months of work. And our annual telethon airs this Sunday, the 22nd, from 6 to 9 p.m. on Access Now TV and their YouTube channel as well. Lee Jones from CTV will be joining us as well. And we'll be featuring all kinds of animals, as you point out, ones that are available for adoption. We've got some kittens, cats, dogs, puppies, all looking for their homes. We're also going to have some visits from some pets you might have met before that have spent some time at the Humane Society and found their forever family at home. And we're going to catch up with them and see how they're doing as well as lots of information and videos about the different programs and services, some of them new too. So if you haven't checked out a few of those things like our birthday parties, you might want to tune in and have a look at those as well.
Looking forward to that, and congratulations on all your hard work. But adopting is not the only way to help the animals at the Regina Humane Society. We can also help out with those fundraising events. Ales for Tails is coming up. What should we know?
Yeah, well, in addition to the telethon, which is an important fundraiser, Ales for Tails is coming up. It's an annual event that sells out pretty quickly each year. Tickets went on sale for that last week. Happens May 26th at Bushwhackers, and there's all kinds of great things going on there. Of course, you've got a great meal from Bushwhackers, some bevies, also a silent auction and 50-50 raffle as well. Very, very popular fundraiser for us, and again, very, very important because fundraisers like that do allow us to look after animals like Ashley here and all the ones you'll see on the telethon and all through the year.
All right. Thank you so much. Once again, that was Bill Thorne joining us from the Regina Humane Society. For more information on all their upcoming events, on their telethon, and of course on how you can adopt, head on over to reginahumanesociety.ca. Thanks, Bill.
Thanks. Have a great day.
Here's what's happening in our community. The Capel Cribbage Tournament happens March 21st at 9 a.m. at the Capel 50 Plus Club, 306-527-0106. A cribbage tournament's also happening March 21st at 2 p.m. at the Bollier Community Hall out in Bollier. Aquarium auction happening March 21st at 1:30 p.m. at the Northeast Community Center. That's 205 Hamilton Street. And an international dinner March 21st at 6 p.m. Little Flower Parish, 420 College Avenue, 306-522-8583. Submit your event by visiting our website, ctvregina.ca, and click on Community Calendar, or simply scan the QR code on your screen.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
All right, let's head back down to Shannon's Pub, where Janelle Lippi is this morning. And Janelle, you're putting your dance skills to the test?
That's right. Lots of dancing is ahead of us in this time around. I've got Juliana and Lauren with me. Now, we do have an upcoming performance. Juliana, what are you guys performing for us?
So we're performing a traditional dance called St. Patrick's Day. And traditional dances in Irish dance are a set dance to a set tune that are the same all over the world.
All right. And what are you most looking forward to today? Lots of excitement is ahead of you.
I'm mostly looking forward to being with this amazing group of people and just being able to show off the steps we've worked like really hard for.
Absolutely. All right, Lauren, tell me a little bit about what you're most looking forward to today.
Like Juliana said, I like hanging out with all the people, and we're so lucky this year we're having a party bus to go around each pubs and dances.
Oh my goodness. All right, well, lots of exciting times, you guys. I'm going to step off and I'll let you have at it.
Patrick's Day. It's March 17th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Logan, celebrating today. We hope you have a fabulous birthday. Lots of love from your mom and the kids. And Logan's mom, Melody, also sent in this shout out for her grandma, Vesta, who is now 82 years old. Happy birthday. We hope you enjoy your special day. Turning 14 years old is Caden. Happy birthday to you. Lots of love from your mom, dad, and Jesse.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please send those in at least one day in advance.
Chase, you saw those Irish dancers doing a fabulous job. Do you have any skills like that?
I'm actually river dancing right now.
Oh.
My legs are going crazy with all of the best moves. Unfortunately, the camera can't catch it, but there's some pretty fancy things going on right now.
Have a steady upper body. That's good. That's quality.
Yeah, I know.
That's quality.
That's part of the key to a good river dance is what I always say starting now. On top of that, too, we're continuing to talk about that Stitches story. If you have like a funny one too, by all means, please text that into 54321. This might be the best one so far. Kendra was lifting what she called a very obese, overweight cat, and as she picked it up, it was so heavy that it actually took her off balance, and then she went through a glass coffee table in the process too. Ended up with 7 stitches. Just could not handle the weight of the cat. So continue to text in 54321. Also, we'll have your next keyword for the 50K payday and March to Country Thunder, the song of the day, up after 8 o'clock too.
Glad you remembered the green today. Wouldn't want to pinch you.
I panicked. Almost forgot it.
I thought you were going to break out Edmonton Elks green, and then we'd be in a whole different discussion. Thanks, Chase.
No, they've had some pretty shameful seasons of the last 3-5 years. So
3, 5, 7, 12. It's fine. Bye.
It's been a while. See ya.
Tommy is back for its 50th anniversary. The classic rock opera from The Who is screening exclusively in IMAX theaters this Tuesday and Wednesday only.
It takes not a super sane person.
We're away from our families for 2 straight months.
These guys aren't paid salaries. PBA only pays prize money.
Dollar.
They're trying to just make a living.
I got some W-2s. Too bad the money didn't equal the W-2s.
Born to Bowl looks at the handful of people trying to support themselves as professional bowlers. Most work day jobs, and when they're on the tournament circuit, they pay for their own travel and lodging. The first episode of the docuseries is now streaming on HBO Max. Brenna Whitaker channels Olivia Newton-John with her new cover of Hopelessly Devoted to You. Her music video for the Grease classic shows her with Newton-John's longtime colleague, John Farrar, who wrote and produced the original song. The video is now on YouTube. Holding on till the end in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
All right, here's a dancing kid to kick off our sidebars. Look at brave Braden. He was asked to dance halftime of his big brother's basketball game, and he got up and did it, which is great. Thankfully, there's only 12 people in the stands. He probably knows all of them. But let's not take away from the fact that he actually got up and did it.
Yeah, this takes a lot of guts.
He's almost got that Michael Jackson vibe.
He's also, like, he's doing this a cappella. There's no music playing. Like, this is video from the court.
Interesting.
I see a bright future for Braden.
Hopefully. Hopefully. What else you got for us?
All right, a group of people in Atlanta letting off some steam in a very unique way.
1, 2, 3.
This is a Scream Club. It was founded by a couple, one life coach and a breath practitioner. They organize meetups in different spots to give people space to release emotion and just scream it all out. Would you do it?
Apparently we have to get together to do this now. You just do this in the comfort of your own home. See you next hour. It's Tuesday, March 17th.
Whether I free it, take it, I think I could do anything I want with it. You want to know the truth? They're a very weakened nation.
U.S. President Donald Trump now tossing out the idea of taking Cuba as the island faces yet another massive blackout. Closer to home, Canada's Farm Show begins today in Regina. The Minister of Agriculture is standing by. We'll talk to him about farm safety and the Farm Show in just a few minutes. And later this hour, we are going to introduce you to the province's next firearms commissioner. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning and happy St. Patrick's Day.
May the luck of the Irish be upon you. We're asking you today in our question of the day, what brings you luck? Do we have a lot of responses? Any responses? First hour, we had nothing.
Haven't gone and looked. Okay. Got to go do that right now, actually.
Let's let you do that then. We've got the Ag Minister standing by. We'll get to some headlines for you. It was another day of accusations at the Saskatchewan legislature. This time, the Saskatchewan NDP is being accused of inciting hatred towards the Premier and members of his cabinet. Swain Mantika tells us the allegations stem from an email sent to supporters.
It was an email intended to fire up NDP supporters for the 2028 provincial election campaign. It accuses the Saskatchewan Party of oozing arrogance and smugness and asks supporters to take a moment to think of the faces of all the ones they hate so much. It goes on to name the Premier, Tim McLeod, Jeremy Harrison, and Jeremy Cockrell. The Premier stood in the legislature to take exception to the email.
The ones you hate so much, Mr. Speaker. That's the opposition leader's chief of staff in a fundraising email telling the people in Saskatchewan communities. Think of that young father's face. Think of this husband and young father's face, Mr. Speaker. Think of this father's face and hate them. Mr. Speaker, this is sick.
The email was from the newly appointed NDP campaign director. The opposition leader addressed the concerns.
I'll also say that the emotion that I'm hearing out there from people, the frustration, is very real. Whether you use the word hate, it's you hear a lot of concern, a lot of frustration, a lot of fear from people out there right now who really are struggling.
The Premier called on the NDP leader to dismiss the person responsible for the fundraising letter. Carla Beck says she won't take advice from the Premier and stands by her choice of campaign director. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
Saskatoon teen who doused her classmate in gasoline set her on fire has been handed a maximum youth sentence for attempted murder. Jeremy Dodge, finally some legal closure to this case.
Yeah, Daryl, the 16-year-old's been sentenced to 3 years. That's 2 years in custody, followed by a year of community supervision. Now, the teen has already spent 558 days in custody. Unlike most cases, though, that time will not be credited toward her 3-year sentence. Ahead of the September 2024 attack at Evan Hardy Collegiate, court heard the offender became obsessed with the victim and her best friend, contacting them using multiple phone numbers and social media accounts. The victim's family and parents of her best friend said they reported the stalker situation to police and were told a safety plan would be implemented.
This case shows what happens when students' concerns aren't taken seriously. We shouldn't have to fight this hard just to be heard and to feel safe in our own school.
The victim, the accused, and their families can't be identified under a youth publication ban. The victim continues to recover from burns to 40% of her body, undergoing surgeries and ongoing treatment. Charges have been laid following a homicide last week that took the life of a North Battleford cab driver. Friday, RCMP responded to the report of a man injured in a business parking lot off the Highway 16 bypass in North Battleford. Police say 30-year-old Devinder Singh, who was working as a cab driver, was declared dead at the scene. 19-year-old Kojak Adams is facing 1 count of first-degree murder, and 19-year-old Garin Baptiste has been charged with manslaughter. Adams charged with 2 additional firearms-related charges. Both have been remanded in custody until March 30th. All right, Daryl, standing by now with the province's ag minister, I understand.
I am, Jeremy. Thank you so much. It is Saskatchewan Agriculture Safety Week. It is also the start of Canada's farm show over at Real District. So we welcome in the Minister of Agriculture this morning. Very busy man, as you'd expect. David Marit, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thanks for having me in, Daryl.
And just coming across the newswire, a major announcement, funding announcement. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I just found out that BASF is doing a big expansion up in Saskatoon to the tune of about $27 million at their facility, all for canola research and innovation and new genetics and things like that. So it's great news for the farmers here in the province of Saskatchewan, great news for the province.
What's making the province so attractive to these companies?
You know, probably just what we're doing in the ag sector, and probably what we're trying to do as government to encourage investment here and giving companies some opportunities to do that. And it's all good things for the province, good thing for the farmers, and good thing for the whole economy here in the province.
And we've made some deals to lower some fees and some tariffs on different things getting to the port. And the Port of Churchill is being expanded, or they're looking at
They're looking at that, yep.
These are all good things for us?
Yeah, they are all good things. And I mean, obviously we're landlocked, so we're always trying to find new ways and opportunities to move the product out. And that's why you're even seeing more value-added processing happening here as well. People are taking the raw product, companies are taking that raw product to another finished stage and exporting it that way as well too. Seeing a lot of that coming.
And good work in terms of finding different trading partners that aren't called the US of A?
That's exactly right. And that's, you know, the 9 trading offices that we have around the world is really working and building on that. We're seeing expansion into countries we never thought we would be. We're in over 160 different countries globally now. So it's really saying a lot for not only the province, but the companies that are really looking at opportunities expanding that way too.
Heard about the runoff report early this morning on this program. It looks okay in some parts of the province. Do you feel like you're going to need to support some of the farmers in the southwest that are starting to see some drought conditions already?
Well, you know, we were kind of fortunate last weekend. We, you know, some parts in the southwest saw about a foot of snow. So I know even around Assiniboine and stuff in there, they had lots of snow. And I was at the livestock, the stock growers meeting in Rockland there on Friday, and they had about 5 or 6 inches of good wet snow. So they're hopeful that we're going to see some moisture yet, and we always do during calving season. So hopefully we'll get through this okay.
The reason you're here is it's Farm Safety Week.
Yep.
Why are we focusing on farm safety? I know a lot of farmers out there. You're one of them. That say, you don't have to tell me. I know to be safe on the farm.
Yeah, and we do. You know, and I think everybody really tries to do that. Obviously, you know, we just want to make awareness to it, not only to the farmers and the ranchers too, but to the public as well. You know, we're getting into spring, and it's something we want to do. We'll continue to do that, and it's really bringing awareness for everybody just to be very mindful of. They're working around equipment. They're hauling commodities right now. They're getting ready for seeding. All those things just play into it. And you know, I say it every time, Daryl, and I mean it with every breath that I take, is that we all have loved ones at home, every one of us, and we just want everybody to get home safe every night. We really do.
What's your message at Canada's Farm Show later today?
Actually, I'm just going to go and talk about all the innovation that's happening. I'm really excited about what's going on over there. To see the bright young minds and bringing this new innovation and technology. But I mean, the industry here in this province is a story that has to be told globally. It really does, and it is. When you see, you know, delegations from over 70 different countries here, obviously they're coming to see what we're doing, and we're doing it right.
David, thank you for a few minutes. I know you got an exciting week ahead of you, including talking to your grandkids at Ag in the classroom and stuff like that. So it's going to be a fun week for you. So thank you so much for spending time.
Thanks for having me on, Daryl. Appreciate it.
We'll ask you to sit right there for a quick second while we get into this next piece, which is about credit. Many Canadians continuing to struggle to pay their bills each month, feeling the financial squeeze with housing costs, rising price of groceries, and now the rising price of gas due to that war in Iran. A new survey finds that 1 out of 3 people are unable to pay off their credit card bills each month, and almost half say they're living paycheck to paycheck. Here's Pat Foran.
Credit card interest rates in Canada can be 20 to 24%, but some cards can be as high as 30%. It's wise to pay off your balance every month to avoid interest charges. But a new survey by Vivi Data found 36% of Canadian credit card holders carry a balance and rely on credit cards when they're short of money. And 49% feel they're living paycheck to paycheck.
Grocery shopping is really difficult. It's really hard to get good quality fruits and vegetables and protein at a reasonable price.
I used to be able to stay on top of my bills, have a few bucks in the bank, go on holidays. I can't do that no more. I basically work and go home.
Food prices are crazy, rent is crazy, so I understand why people would be living paycheck to paycheck.
Almost half of Canadians waiting for their next paycheck is concerning.
And now that 49% number
feeling like they're paycheck to paycheck, that's an incredibly high number.
Not paying off your credit card balance each month also makes it harder to get ahead.
They will use a credit card when they can't make something, can't make some payments at the end of a month. And that just becomes, a vicious cycle.
Credit counseling agencies say they're also noticing more people feeling the financial squeeze.
People were stretched before this new war in Iran. The price of food, the price of housing, it's all been really, really expensive. But surprise, now you're paying an extra 16 or 20 cents a liter on gas.
The survey also found 58% said they have less disposable income than before, and 71% say rising costs are reducing how much they can save. Even if money is tight, it's recommended you try to pay more than the minimum monthly payment on your credit card bill each month.
When you only make your minimum monthly payment, it can take decades to pay off even a small balance.
Housing debt, both rents and mortgages, as well as expensive car loans, are also putting added pressure on many Canadians. Pat Foran, CTV News.
Developing news from the Middle East this morning, where Israel is claiming that its military has killed a top Iranian security official in an overnight strike. Israel's foreign minister announcing this morning that Israeli forces had killed Iran's security chief and the head of one of its militias. And Israel today launching more strikes in Lebanon. The Israeli military says it has begun limited ground operations in Lebanon against the Iranian-backed Hezbollah militia group. Now, Israeli strikes have displaced more than 1 million people in Lebanon, roughly 20% of its population. All of this unfolds as U.S. President Donald Trump continues to call on allies to protect the Strait of Hormuz. So far, many of the nations Trump hoped would join him have said they're not interested. The European Union's foreign policy chief today said the door is not closed to some form of participation. A BC doctor has taken up an unusual side hustle, but he's not in it for the money. Adam Sawatsky with why this Victoria man traded in his scrubs for a kilt.
Ken Wilson is on a journey that began in a Scottish village when he was just wee and fell under the spell of the bagpipes.
I don't know what the magical wavelength is, but there's something about it.
Appreciating that magic is one thing, learning how to make it is another.
Well, there are two words for that: peer pressure.
When Ken was 11, his best friend couldn't have been more keen to play the pipes.
I was a little less enthusiastic, but his enthusiasm rubbed onto me.
After signing up for lessons after school, Ken found himself falling in love with the bagpipes.
I can't explain it. It's like a relationship. The chemistry has to be there.
It was certainly there, and remained there when Ken eventually decided to enlist in the Navy.
But the Navy doesn't have bagpipes, so I had to go with Army.
Ken served in Scotland before moving to Canada to serve here, piping perpetually.
It's an instrument of war, so we like to let everybody know that we're here.
Now, Ken is welcoming everyone who visits here by busking for tourists.
Met lots of people and good exercise. Cardiopulmonary is good.
And Ken knows that because he's also a doctor, working as a published medical specialist, teaching as a clinical medical professor, and giving back as a philanthropist.
The busking is I'm not here to make a ton of money.
Instead, the doctor is here to prescribe the public something positive.
I love the bagpipes. It's a pure enjoyment. It's joie de vivre.
While you won't find that diagnosis in a medical journal, this wee lad learned early it's an enduring symptom of making magic. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Victoria.
I have a friend whose wife plays the bagpipes, but sometimes elects to choose them, when the neighbors are being a little loud the night before. Or...
Yeah. There is a video online, you can find it if you look hard enough, of me in 2020 when the pandemic first happened. That's and everyone was bored, right. And I made a bagpipe out of garbage bags, a recorder, and some straws.
Yeah, let's not relive that miraculous part of history.
Hey, Hey, happy St. Paddy's Day. I'll go make one in the break room. We'll start doing a little jig. Speaking of doing a little jig, look at what's happening behind me here. Happy St. Patrick's Day, Saskatchewan. We are really getting some luck with the weather today. Double digits for a lot of places down south later on this morning to start the day. Saskatoon and Regina both at -4 right now, so not bad. Later on, it's going to be a little bit nicer. 11 degrees expected for our St. Patrick's Day forecast in Regina. A mix of sun and clouds throughout the afternoon. Winds could be gusting up to about 45 kilometers per hour, though. In Saskatoon, 7 degrees. Again, talking about a mix of sun and clouds. Winds are going to be a little bit more calm through Saskatoon, gusting up to about 25 kilometers per hour there this afternoon. Temperatures throughout the province looking pretty similar. So throughout central Saskatchewan, 8 degrees for the Battlefords, 5 degrees for Prince Albert, 3 degrees for Yorkton. Some double digits down south, though. 11 degrees this afternoon for Swift Current, 12 degrees for Moose Jaw, 11 degrees for Weyburn, 9 degrees through Estevan. The southwest corner of the province going to be seeing those stronger gusts up to about 55 kilometers per hour in areas around Swift Current. This is current, what you're looking at on the screen, so we are still talking about some of that precipitation, some snow this morning and into the early parts of the afternoon. By late afternoon, that will be out of the province mainly, other than just a few little spots on the radar way up north. More sunshine expected down south in that southwest corner where we're seeing the stronger wind gusts. Wednesday overnight, we start to see really early in the day some rain in areas around Prince Albert. And then into the afternoon, a larger system coming in from Alberta, bringing some rain to Saskatoon down through the Parkland region, and a low chance Regina could be seeing some of those showers as well. Mainly for the afternoon, though. Regina expecting a mix of sun and clouds, dropping down to about 10 degrees tomorrow, up to 17 degrees by Thursday, though. So that is going to be a fantastic day. 14 degrees on Friday, 10 degrees on Saturday with that cloud cover, 3 degrees on Sunday, and 6 degrees by Monday. In Saskatoon, not quite as warm, but still above that seasonal average. The average is about 0 degrees, so not bad. Dropping down to 3 degrees tomorrow with that rain on the way in the afternoon, up to 6 degrees on Thursday, mix of sun and cloud. And a wintry mix could be starting your day on Friday. 5 degrees down to -2 on Saturday with some very light flurries. 2 degrees on Sunday and -2 by Monday.
Researchers at the University of Saskatchewan are looking to provide some answers to an age-old problem for men and some women, and that's hair loss. As Keenan Sorokon explains, work being done here may help prevent further hair loss in Canada moving forward.
The ultrasound probe will be applied to your forehead.
Hair loss is an age-old problem. Men, women, young and old can all be affected, and there's no shortage of ways to dole out money to keep your hair.
Reducing stress, improving sleep, topical medication like minoxidil. Then you can have platelet-rich plasma, which are injections into your scalp.
Now, 2 med students at the University of Saskatchewan are putting a new treatment to the test.
If we can figure out qualitatively and quantitatively whether the treatments that we are offering for hair improvements improve hair quality, density, and thickness.
Called Almated, the healthcare-approved hair restoration treatment uses ultrasound and air pressure to get a specialized serum into the scalp and get hair to regrow.
The high-frequency ultrasound is kind of weakening the keratinocytes, and it creates these channels that allow for drug delivery because the hair follicles are deep.
The relatively new treatment has seen positive results in Europe and the United States, but there's no Canadian data. That will change once this study is done.
At the end of the day, the population within states as well as within Europe is very different than Saskatchewan. So we have to really be ensuring that we have research that is representative of our community.
Alazem and Qureshi are looking for anyone 18 and older experiencing hair loss who aren't on current drug treatments and are available over the summer for appointments at the clinic. And with treatments costing $1,000, Jaggi is eager to put some scientific backing behind the product.
If somebody's spending that kind of money, they want more than my word that this thing works, right?
Keenan Sorokon, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
Let's go back out to Mike Siona now, who's learning about some upgrades to Saskatoon's Great Western Brewery.
I'm joined now by Devin Sherling, who is the brewmaster here. And I'll tell you what, you got some pretty nice toys, if I can call them that, at your disposal. Talk us through the process in terms of, what happens at each step of the beer making process.
For sure. So down at our mill, we'll bring in about 2,000 kilograms of malt. And then we're going to pull it, we're going to crush it, and we're going to bring it up to our mash vessel. So we're just exposing the starches so that the enzymes can break it down. In here, it's just the mash, so we're converting the starches to sugars.
Okay, so it comes from the mash vessel, then I'm guessing it goes next door.
Then it'll go to our lauter tin. In the lauter tin, it's acting as a natural filter, so it'll take the husks and the wort, as it's called right now, will go through the husks, and it's going to filter it up, it's going to clean it up. And then it's going to go down to our far end tank, which is a holding tank, a holding vessel. So it's waiting for the kettle to be ready. Then we're going to let it sit there until we're ready to go. We'll pull it to the kettle. We're going to boil it, and that's going to sterilize it. It's going to concentrate it, and it's going to isomerize the hops to give us the nice bitterness that we want. And then we're going to send it to a whirlpool. And that's pretty much like when you're making tea, when you stir your tea and the particles come to the center. Yeah. That's the trub. We're going to pull the liquid off that, and we're going to send it off to fermenting. So that's going to be there for about 2 weeks. We're going to add yeast, and that's going to convert the sugars we just made into alcohol and CO2.
Fantastic. So now in this particular room, because that process that you just mentioned happens in a different part here. But here, what, about 3.5 hours?
Yeah, about 3.5 hours per brew. And right now we're putting 3 brews through a day as we're training, and we'll get that up to 12.
Unbelievable. And how much comes through in one brew?
So in this brew house, it's a 125 hectoliter brew house. So for each brew, so that's
a lot of cans is what that is. We're not even going to do the math. You could go to Google and figure out how much that works out to. It is absolutely impressive, Devin. Thank you very much for having us down here. Great Western Brewery, the new expansion, 8th day in operation right here in Saskatoon.
This day in history, March 17th, 1955, Maurice the Rocket Richard suspension led to a violent riot at the Montreal Forum. Windows were broken, stores were looted. March 17, 2020, Ontario and Alberta declared states of emergency due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And March 17, 1985, U.S. President Ronald Reagan came to Ottawa to a summit at the Chateau Frontenac. It became known as the Shamrock Summit.
In case you missed it, we have a hefty dose of cuteness, courtesy the Copenhagen Zoo, who is in full baby mode. Look at that. Now, they not only welcomed this adorable giraffe, this was born on Friday, also has a new baby elephant to care for. The last elephant birth at this zoo was back in 2024, and the newborn calf is the first of several expected giraffe calves at the zoo over the next few months. We have 2 other female giraffes also pregnant there in Copenhagen, so pretty cool. And a little closer to home, visitors now welcome to see the Toronto Zoo's new baby giraffe. The zoo says the giraffe house will be open daily between 11 and 3 if you're planning to go. You're supposed to keep your voices low, though, just so you don't scare the baby. Keep it calm as it
now we need to name them all.
Legs.
Oh my
gosh. We need names for all of these animals.
They are so cute.
Look at them go.
What are you going to name them, Daryl?
Obviously, they're all named Jeremy, you know.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Maybe
I was thinking killer for that giraffe. Right? Looks hostile.
Yeah, he does look pretty looking mean. All right, let's get to our question of the day. Question of the day was, what brings you good luck today?
Yes, we did get a few great answers, so thank you to everybody who texted us. This one's saying Friday the 13th has always been lucky for me and my kids. Kids also bringing luck.
Okay.
I like that one. It goes against the norm.
So does this one.
Yeah, Dell's saying number 13 and Irene at Sherwood Co-op on Parliament. I like that.
Must have sold her a lucky lotto ticket.
Yeah.
Shout out to Irene.
Yeah, we had S saying seeing angel numbers. I have a friend who will, if she
What is
sees
an angel number?
An angel number is like 1111.
Oh, okay.
When you see 1111, or if you see 1010,
okay,
those are angel numbers. And my friend, she abides by them. She thinks it's going to be a good day if she sees 1111. Rick saying gold coins. I wish I had some of those.
Yeah, probably in the couch cushions.
Yeah. Sheldon saying my family and my friends bring me good luck. And Heather saying the number 17 brings me good luck. It's my birthday number, and I will choose it any chance I get. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
That's our question of the day today. Welcome back to your morning. Thank you so much for being with us, and thank you to the young lady who called in, so passionate about my tie being askew. I appreciate your call. Let's get on to other news. One of the largest investments ever made in the province of Saskatchewan has been announced. Our parent company, Bell Canada, is teaming up with the government to build Canada's largest AI data center. Donovan Mace reports.
The future of AI in Canada is coming to Saskatchewan.
The data centers and compute hardware that power AI are becoming critical infrastructure, much like the railways and telephone wires that first connected this great country.
Bell, the parent company of CTV News, making a $1.7 billion capital investment into the site, which will bring a 300-megawatt data center to the RM of Sherwood, southeast of Regina. It could generate up to $12 billion for the provincial economy, one of the largest investments ever in Saskatchewan.
We have here a province that is willing to make that compute the power available to generate that compute capacity at scale.
If you're a mining company, you're part of the tech sector, and today our mining companies are using AI technology to ensure that they are the most efficient mining companies in the nation. The same holds true for agriculture, oil production.
In partnership with George Gordon First Nation, Bell says it will explore Indigenous procurement, participation, and workforce development.
We've been interested in AI for a while. Since I've been the chief, I've been looking at AI, thinking about AI, and thinking how can we get involved in AI, because to me, I believe it's going to be key to education, and it's going to be key to streamlining a lot of processes.
Now, the data center has been the source of recent controversy, with multiple petitions to halt its construction, claiming issues related to power capacity, environmental concerns, ecological impacts, and the ethics of AI.
We are not drawing on municipal water sources, and in terms of waste heat, we'd be looking to plug into a district energy system. So it's part of a parcel of being very mindful of working with government.
Now, Bell is aiming to begin construction of the data center in the spring and expects the build to support over 800 trades and engineering jobs, with a minimum of 80 full-time jobs once it is operational next year. Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
Record high beef prices are leading to never-before-seen profits for Manitoba cattle farmers. And despite sticker shock, many Manitobans are still heading to the grocery stores asking, where's the beef? Joseph Bernacki reports.
At Winnipeg Livestock Sales, hundreds of cattle walk through these gates ready for buyers. Scott Anderson manages the floor, making sure they go to market.
The market right now currently it's the highest of all time.
So high, in fact, Argyle farmer Ian Smith's 2,900-pound bull just sold here for a record-breaking price at the end of February.
I got a good price of $7,628 for him. I was thinking maybe around that $2.55 a pound I'd get for him, but I got $2.59.
Smith figures had he sold the bull last year, he would have fetched $1,000 less. He says the tricky part is managing and maintaining enough stock.
I think the prices will stay up because here in North America, we're in a 75-year low in inventory.
He's already invested in 2 new bulls at $7,000 apiece. Anderson says the market has been steadily increasing for the last 3 years.
Calves are bringing, $4,000. It's been good for the cow-calf producers. It's been good for the backgrounders that buy little calves, put a couple 100 pounds on them and then resell them. And it's also been very good for the feedlot guys that have been finishing cattle as well.
Cattle farmer Barry Proctor has watched prices skyrocket over the past decade. He bought his first cows at 13.
I was born into it. I'm 86 now. So I'm in my 73rd year of doing it.
7 decades later, he's still doing what he loves most, managing a herd of Black Angus near Woodlands, Manitoba. Proctor says in the last 4 months, the increase in price has been staggering. He compares the price of selling his heifers then and now.
I sold 10 in December, and they averaged me $4,700. First week in February, the lowest one was $5,400 and the highest one was $5,900.
Joseph Bernanke, CTV News, Winnipeg.
A Saskatoon mother whose daughter struggles to breathe says they've been waiting almost 2 years to see a surgeon. Carla Shinkaruk explains.
To have no answers at all.
2 years ago, Cassie Reed's daughter started having trouble breathing with fluid dripping into her lungs.
She coughs till she pukes, and she cries in her sleep. It sometimes scares me on how hard she coughs sometimes, because it sounds like she has completely lost the ability to breathe.
She says she's had to take time off her job at times as they wait for care, and constant coughing is oftentimes forcing the 9-year-old to miss out.
We're either not going to school, or I have to call ahead of time to the school and say, there's no outside, there's no gym. She can't today.
Reed says the family saw a specialist in October of 2024, but months later learned the doctor had left indefinitely. Since then, they've been waiting for another appointment with a surgeon with no timeline for when the procedures might happen. Opposition health critic Keith Jorgensen says stories like this highlight ongoing problems in Saskatchewan's healthcare system.
We hear stories all the time about people waiting very, very long periods of time for surgery, or in this case, just to see a specialist.
CTV News reached out to the Ministry of Health and did not get a response by deadline.
The best way I can describe it is...
But for Reed and her daughter, the wait continues, and they're hopeful for the best case scenario and good news.
There's a surgery booked, and it's relatively soon.
Carla Shinkaruk, CTV News, Saskatoon.
How about a sight to behold, a herd of buffalo returning to the Cowessess First Nation for the first time in more than a century. Jacob Carr reports.
Dozens of members of Cowessess First Nation gathering for the return of buffalo to the Cowessess Plains. Before the big moment, community members singing an honor song to signify the buffalo touching the ground and the land of Cowessess.
We have our honor songs, we have our victory songs, we have our songs for dance, and that drum beat is the heartbeat of us and the heartbeat of that buffalo. They're the same.
The buffalo from Peepekessis were herded into a truck and transported to Cowessess before being released into their new habitat. According to a member of Cowessess, the buffalo release was the product of over 3 years of work and partnership between the two First Nations.
This will be a sacred area for the buffalo and for food sustainability to our people. Well, this herd will build significantly enough that we will be able to provide food for our people in years to come.
In a pay-it-forward gesture, once the herd grows in size, Cowessess will be sharing their buffalo with a yet-to-be-determined First Nations community that is part of the Buffalo Treaty Alliance. The chief of Cowessess says the impact of having buffalo back on their First Nation is already being felt.
Even though it's only been a few hours, it's already made that significant impact. It's one of hope, it's one of love, it's one of respect, it's one of kindness, and all of those teachings that we grow up with as First Nations people.
Bowden says there are 20 buffalo in the herd and that the day was about renewal, resurgence, and recapturing and remembering what is running through the people of Cowessess's bloodlines. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
Let's turn our attention to the weather picture. A lot of color behind you, which usually means some cold in there.
Yeah, well, the pink up north indicating the more chilly temperatures, although we're not seeing any more of that white today. That's some good news. No more minus 30s on the board for today, at least. We're also seeing a little bit of that green color, mainly in Alberta this morning, but just a little bit of that green color moving into Saskatchewan, indicating some warmth, some positive temperatures already down south. Up north, though, Stony Rapids at minus 14, minus 12 in La Ronge, minus 9 in Nipawin, minus 10 in Hudson Bay, 1 degree in Spiritwood. So some places already breaking into those positives throughout central Saskatchewan as well. Down south, 5 degrees in East End, 5 degrees in Moose Jaw, 3 degrees right now in Assiniboia, -4 in Saskatoon and Regina, and -11 through Yorkton this hour. Let's take a look at your St. Patrick's Day forecast for Regina. By 10 a.m., we're looking at about 2 degrees. By 1 o'clock, about 8 degrees, 9 degrees by 4 p.m., and that is just below that expected daytime high of 11 degrees. By 7 p.m., about 6 degrees expected. In Saskatoon, we're looking at 1 degree by 10 a.m. By 1 o'clock, 6 degrees. 6 degrees still at 4 p.m., just below that expected daytime high of 7 degrees. And by 7 p.m., 4 degrees. We're also talking about just a little bit of precipitation. This is all left over from that system that we saw moving through the province overnight. So all those areas lit up in purple, still seeing just a few flurries to start the day. By the early afternoon, we do see most of that pushing off. Just a few flakes still in northern Saskatchewan. We're also talking about some rain moving in for early tomorrow morning. On your screen is at about 3:45 a.m. So areas between Saskatoon and Prince Albert seeing some of that rainfall. And then into the afternoon hours, by about 3:30 p.m., Saskatoon and the Parkland region going to be seeing some of that precipitation, including rain and some light snow. Today's forecast for the afternoon showing about 11 degrees for Swift Current, about 12 degrees for Moose Jaw, but the southwest corner of the province going to be seeing the strongest wind gusts, likely surpassing 55 kilometers per hour. Estevan up to 9 degrees. Weyburn sharing Regina's temperature of 11 degrees this afternoon, 5 degrees for Prince Albert, and 8 degrees expected for the Battlefords. Getting warmer for Thursday. Thursday is looking like it's going to be the day that we're peaking for most places in the province, not everywhere, but 17 degrees by Thursday in Regina. In Saskatoon, 6 degrees, so just below today's expected daytime high, but still seeing positive temperatures until Saturday when we see things drop down to -2.
Saskatchewan will soon have a new commissioner of firearms. Blaine Bevan taking over the role from Robert Freeberg, who is retiring at the end of the month. And Blaine is with us this morning live via Zoom. Blaine, thank you so much for doing this. Right off the top, if you could remind everyone out there at home what your office does.
Thank you for that. So the Saskatchewan Firearms Office manages the regulation, safe use, safe transportation, purchasing and transfers of firearms. And we have a number of pillars. The main one that most people would be familiar with if they're a licensed owner is the Chief Firearms Office. They manage all the licensing, transfers, approvals, things of that nature, and all the regulatory surrounded licensing for firearms. Then the SAS Firearms Office also includes the Saskatchewan Ballistic Lab, which involves forensic testing of firearms for law enforcement purposes. And then we have the client services side, which is involved with assisting people, stakeholder engagement, and engaging with other community partners.
We're seeing some firearms on our screen recently. There were some legislation changes that came into effect. How are legal gun owners in this province affected by those?
Certainly. So, of course, the Saskatchewan Firearms Act was amended recently to provide more protections for Saskatchewan firearms owners, specifically those that are affected by the federal gun buyback. And it allows people who are affected by that to seek compensation through the Saskatchewan Firearms Office, basically seek valuation of their firearms. So if what has been offered to them by the federal government is not adequate or unfair, they can get fair compensation valuation from us, and then they can seek make a claim against the federal government for payment. And our legislation indicates that the party that devalues the firearm, in this case the federal government, is required to pay for the value of it.
Blaine, you're a lawyer by trade. What drew you to this role?
So I've been working part-time with the Saskatchewan Firearms Office as their legal counsel since 2022, when I was asked to assist when they were setting up the office, and it's been very interesting to me. I've been fortunate enough to work hand in hand with Robert Freeberg over the last 4 years and be involved in the day-to-day operations of this ministry. And so, you know, when it came time when he was ready to retire and this opportunity came up, it seemed like an interesting opportunity to pursue. There's not, you know, lawyers, we kind of get typecast sometimes into just doing law. There's a lot of other opportunities out there, and I like to pursue those when I can.
Come on, it's not all like Suits. I imagine that's what law is like on a daily basis. Blaine, before I let you go, you are also a Métis citizen in this province and stepping into this major leadership role. Great to have that representation for people out there.
Yeah, I think it really is. I know that the province signed an MOU with Métis Nation a few years ago talking about ensuring that Métis individuals are represented across government. I mean, I don't think that's part of this necessarily, but it is, a part of my heritage, and I'm happy to be a Métis citizen in this province and working in this role. I think it's important, especially in the firearms profile, to ensure that Indigenous individuals feel like they can be part of the firearms program in terms of licensing and safe storage and receiving the training that they need to use firearms safely.
It's an important conversation to have, and we'll have it again, Blaine. Thank you so much, and congratulations on the road ahead.
Thanks for having me. Take care.
All right, let's head back to Shannon's Pub now, see what other St. Patrick's Day fun Janelle Lippi is getting up to.
Good morning. We've seen the pros do the dance, and this time around, it's on me. So I've got Paige and Tess here with me. We're going to learn some steps for this Irish dance. So thank you both so much for being here. Let's kick things off. Who wants to start off with the instructions?
Sure. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to put your feet in pie. Okay. So heels touching, and then you're going to cross your foot over.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So this is your crisscross. This is where you dance primarily.
Okay.
So you're gonna, okay. So then you start pointing your toe out.
Okay.
And you're gonna take your foot up.
Oh.
So you're gonna jump up.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then kick your butt.
Okay.
And then out, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, you made that look really easy. Okay, from the top.
Okay. So it's lift, side, out, 1, 2, 3.
All right, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay, all
so
together.
High, crisscross, point, and lift, side, out, 1, 2, 3.
You guys have great balance. Most of the time. All right.
And then you're going to do it with the other foot.
Okay, okay.
So you're going to crisscross.
Okay.
Point, lift, side, out, 1, 2, 3.
Feeling good about it. Should we do it a little faster?
Sure.
Okay, let's do it.
And lift, side, out, 1, 2, 3. Lift, side, out, 1, 2, 3.
And you know what? I feel like we nailed it.
Definitely.
I'm feeling good about it. All right, so you guys are dancing today all across the city. What are you each looking forward to the most?
Hanging out with my friends. We have a great dance community, and I just love hanging out with all of them. It's great team bonding, so.
That's awesome. Okay, let's go over to you. What are you most looking forward to?
Okay, well, she kind of stole my answer, but I was just going to say, like, being able to share our dancing with the community, and it's really fun because everyone kind of gets out and just, like, enjoy the day, share some culture. It's just amazing.
Awesome, ladies. Well, thank you both so much for being here. Once again, down at Shannon's Pub, I got to go catch my breath. That was a lot of work. Thank you both so much.
No problem. Thank you.
From gracing the pages of the Sports Illustrated magazine as its first Indigenous model from Canada to the stage.
Ashley Collingbull!
In 2024, Ashley Collingbull made history as the first Indigenous woman to win the title of Miss Universe Canada and placed in the top 12 at Miss Universe. Collingbull lends her voice to advocate for missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls.
Those dots were to represent our sisters that haven't come home.
Collingbull is making history again as the first prize presenter for The Price is Right tonight, the iconic game show now in Canada.
When I got the call, I was actually in shock because I didn't know Howie Mandel knew who I was.
Television's host of the show, Howie Mandel, chose Collingbull as they both are homegrown Canadians.
She's a great representation of Canada, is a great representation of First Nation people.
Collingbull is from the Enoch Cree Nation in Alberta.
Went out, made my own video. Instead of waiting for a casting opportunity, I gave them a video and said, this is who I am.
Awesome, Dad!
Calling Bull's hard work was recognized when she received the Top 20 Under 30 award in Canada and was named as one of Canada's top 10 power women. And she says it's her mission to help other girls achieve their dreams.
When I'm working with young women, Indigenous women, I always tell them to empower one another and not compete with one another because we're sisters.
Calling Bull has many projects on the go, including acting, modeling, and she'll be coming out with her own novel. One thing is for sure, she will continue to be a role model and mentor Indigenous youth. Donna Sound, CTV News, Toronto.
And Janelle Lippi joins us back in studio now after her fun Shannon's adventure this morning.
That's
as we
right.
get into our good news. A grade 4 student planning to treat her family to a Disney vacation on her own dime.
That's right. It comes after she won a recent fishing contest. Jasmine Pelchier has the story.
Earlier this month, 9-year-old Sophia Poitras claimed the first place prize at the 10th annual Murray Lake Ice Fishing Derby. Her dad, Rick Poitras, says that when they first brought up the winning fish, he knew the catch was special.
I seen that fish and said, holy moly. That's I know what it is. It's tough in Jack and Murray Lake to catch a good sized Jack. And when that fish came up, it was this one's going to definitely score well.
Sophia had reeled in a 4.8-pound pike from under the ice of Murray Lake, about 40 minutes north of North Battleford. The grade 4 student says she was surprised to make that big of a catch and felt excited and happy when she found out that she'd secured the top prize, $30,000.
From the blow of the horn to the minute they stopped fishing, Sophia never ever quit. She kept jigging. She was into it. She never let up, never complained, nothing. 5 hours.
When asked what she likes about fishing, Sophia had one answer.
Catching big fish.
She wants to use the prize money to treat her family to a Disney World vacation. The Fishing Derby is held annually as a fundraiser to support sports and recreation for both Moosomin and Saulteaux First Nation.
Parents struggle to pay those fees. So for my community, we pay those fees, soccer fees, hockey fees, ball fees.
This year's Derby had the biggest turnout yet, drawing more than 750 people to take part in the fishing. Jasmine Pelchier, CTV News, Prince Albert.
What a way to spend those earnings.
That is so much fun.
Yeah, I hope she caught a few extra fish out there. Let's get to our sidebar. K9 Coach Bus in England is getting all kinds of special attention.
It's incredible. We have people throwing themselves at the windows in cafes trying to get our attention. We have people running down the road taking photographs.
This bus in the UK drives dogs around. It has been fully converted with dog beds and harnesses to keep pups safe on the road. Service is run by dog lover Laura Mohan. She'll pick up your pooch for a smooth ride before taking them for a run at the dog park in the countryside.
That's really cute. Actually, my TikTok is full of this.
Jeremy, this could be your part-time job. I feel like you'd be an excellent dog bus driver.
I'm not sure I could handle the sound in that bus. The small clip they did play of the sound was enough to turn me right off.
Throws in a podcast and away he goes.
Yeah.
Down the road. Let's talk about your dancing. You're not joining a troupe anytime soon, are you?
So unfortunately, I think I'm going to need a little bit more practice, but I'm getting there. Did you see those kicks?
I saw, and that's why I'm concerned. Let's check in with Living Skies Irish dancers one more time to get us all the way home. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Celebrate safely.